turn my microphone on. There we go. Okay. Good evening and welcome to RPG Storytelling, where a bunch of chaotic friends enjoy an adventure of mythic storytelling. Before we jump into tonight's episode of Myths of Gaea, there's a couple of announcements that we wanted to run through real quick, just to kind of get them out of the way so we can get into the game. First off, our wonderful Kate, who plays Ari, will not be joining us tonight. She's dealing with some life issues that need to be handled. And also, Christy, we're hoping will be joining us soon. Christy plays our wonderful Gray. So they will be joining us. Christy will hopefully be joining us sometime in the next little bit. And then hopefully Kate will be back next month. So announcement number 2. Our website is getting much better. There's a lot more added to it. We've got tons of mythology on there, tons of storytelling capabilities. We're just about ready to open up applications for our live stream hosting. So if you want to host your games or your TTRPG content, you can let us know, and we can actually work together to get your games and content on Twitch and YouTube. Let's see what else. We've got a lot of good things in our store. A couple of things are having a little issues, but for the most part, most of our stuff is really good. I'm actually wearing our Champions of Gaia shirt tonight. Really comfy, really soft material, excellent graphics. We've got our RPG storytelling on Cassie. We got the I Am the Legend shirt or sweatshirt on Katie. And then Amy's over there repping our competition, Critical Role, which everybody loves. I love it. And then who knows what Casey's wearing? We'll just have to find out later. But so I'm trying to think. What else? I don't have announcements actually prepared, so we're just winging it tonight. Let's see. Can anybody
I
else
got the
think of
mug
anything?
too.
You got the mug too. I love the mug. Mug's awesome. So is there any other announcements?
I have the.
Go for it. What you got?
Oh no, it's just while we're showing off more merch. I have it here somewhere. It's the scrunchie.
Oh yes, I've got a couple of those.
There we go.
I've got my notebook here and a couple other things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a walking RPG storytelling advertisement in my day-to-day life at this point.
That's never a bad thing. If you want business cards to pass out, let me know. I will send you a bunch. Let's see, other announcements that I can think of. So I am currently hard at work putting together more content for our eventual source books for Myths of Gaea. You can ask my wife, Amy. She's watched me put together a ton of content for the history and mythology of the origins of the world of Gaia. Got information, or I've been crafting information about the Lyceum of the Ancients, which hopefully our players will get to tonight, so I can start exploring some of that. Let's see what else. Yeah, just lots of content, lots of things to go up. And if anybody has any ideas of what they would like to see in a mythology game based on Greek mythology and Celtic mythology, send me a message either through Discord or through the website or through wherever you can find us, and we will get it up there. Let's see. Trying to organize cameras really quickly. Let's see, get everything in here. Oop. Come on. Work with me buttons. Okay. Almost there. Okay. So I got those done. Cool. Now we got everybody on the screen. So I think that's about it for announcements tonight. We'll probably have more later. Oh, one other announcement. On our Tuesday game, Trapped in the Mist, we announced that we won't be having a stream on Tuesday. That has now changed. We will be having a stream on Tuesday. for Trapped in the Mist, which is our Curse of Strahd campaign. So make sure to check us out on that. And then a few of us are actually also trying to put together a Baldur's Gate 3 night, possibly on Thursdays. So we'll keep an eye out for that, and we'll put up announcements everywhere we can, so you can come watch us play Baldur's Gate and make absolute fools of ourselves. So anyways, I think that about covers all of our announcements for tonight. Did anybody else have anything that they wanted to announce? Whether your own projects or anything with RPG storytelling or anything? I will take that as a no. So, with that taken care of, let's go ahead and take a stroll back through the pages of history to the Myths of Gaea. Welcome back. So, now's our time to jump back into the world of Myths of Gaea, down to the Bregala Empire on the continent of Hasleos, diving in even deeper to the city of Cragminster, which is the capital of the Bregala Empire. And now let's see if we can find out who is going to be telling our story of what happened last session. So, already I'm seeing that Arias has rolled a natural 20. Let's see if I can actually talk tonight. Did anybody else get a natural 20 or a natural 1? No? All right.
It's an 8.
Sounds good. So, Arias, who is telling our story tonight?
I'm gonna keep in theme, and anytime I get a natural 20, I always get the DM to do it. And that's you tonight, so.
Of course, the one that actually can't talk tonight.
Them's the breaks.
I know. All right, let's see. Where do we start off? So we started off last session. Thank you. Amy has wonderful notes. I love her notes. Started off last session in a water-filled cavern with a lot of steps leading up towards a certain opening. Along the way, they happened to find a statue that they investigated, found out a bunch of information about, and then the start of the last session that we had last month, the party decided to move on from that statue. Most of the characters were able to make it across this little jump. Unfortunately, Greer didn't quite make it. She almost made it, but not quite. And several of the party members had to help her get her centaur hooves up onto a ledge so that she could climb up and get to safety. From there, our party came to a split in the road, one going up more steps to who knows where, the other into a dark path, a dark cave that possibly led to another cavern or another location. After a little bit of checking around and perceiving what is around them, Arias figured out that going through the dark tunnel was probably going to be their best option. After several jokes at Greer's expense, they moved along into the cavern, not very quietly, I might add, making plenty of noise, clanking with armors, but overall not too bad. So as they moved into the next cavern, they came across another group that happened to already be in this cavern, and a couple of them were up on this little ledge, talking about translating something. Well, the party moved in to talk to them and engage with them to find out what was going on. And they discovered that this other group was not quite so friendly. And they had actually been the group that had captured one of Arius's friends, Yorin. So, after plenty of trying to intimidate and not doing so well, they engaged in some battle, took some hits. They did most of the damage. The main leader of this group had come down to join the fight as well, and was doing quite a bit of damage, or at least he thought he was. But it wasn't quite enough, as several of the party members ganged up on him and finished him off, with Greer dealing the killing blow by taking both of her short swords and slicing off his head in a scissoring motion. After which, plenty
Technically,
of
that
giggles
wasn't me. That
ensued.
was Freya.
Well, you did. You got the
Freya killed him,
scissors.
and then I just decapitated him.
This is true. We'll go with that. But it was,
Yeah,
it was plenty of jokes to be
I
had.
didn't do anything quite as dramatic as Greer.
I was just pissed off, so I had to decapitate.
Exactly.
So,
So eventually they were able to take care of this other group, one of which is still currently sleeping on the ground because of a spell. Another one surrendered and ran away, but the rest of them are currently not going to be worried about life ever again. After the fight, a few of them moved up to that ledge to talk to the one person that was still up there, working on translating some text on a wall. The text turned out to be essentially a historical document engraved into a wall, discussing the first gathering of what is known as the Council of Emeralds, which is a group of a gathering of the it's supposed to be 24 leaders of the 24 different kingdoms, dynasties, and empires of Haslios, to include the Fey realm as well, where a few of our characters are from. So, as part of this historical writing engraving on the wall, they discovered that the first gathering didn't quite go so well, and that there was a prophecy that came out of it. And in that prophecy, let me see if I can find it again. Where did I put it? It's over here. Love getting.
I was going to say, I've got it, Sarah, if you need me to.
No, I got it. So the prophecy was spoken by Frazena the Endless One, a giant, ancient golden dragon who presided over that first gathering. And she said, "When the Endless is reborn, the great city will rise again to conquer the world. Right now, nobody knows what this means, but maybe we'll find out more in tonight's episode. So players, champions, what would you like to do next?" Anyone? The last thing that was said was Volpe Dunwapple was asking you to escort him back out of the caverns, back to the Lyceum of the Ancients. Is that what you would like to do?
have anything?
We were thinking the Lyceum of the Ancients would be a good place to gather some more information too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we also thought that would be a good place to bring Arius's friend that we found.
Yes.
We learned all we can here from this cavern, or
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, might as well head back.
All
Or,
right.
well,
So as you gather
Or-
together and gather your party, along with Yorin and Valpe, you head in the direction of the entrance of the caverns back out into the daylight. Is there anything else that you would like to do while we're in this cavern still?
I remember there was some kind of mechanical thing that we found midway through.
There was a couple of caverns back, but yes.
I mean, I remember like we didn't get a chance to like really investigate it too much because we kind of felt like we were on a deadline. So maybe now that we're more
Yeah.
free, we can do so.
If you so desire. So,
It's on the way back.
exactly. You got to pass it anyways.
Why not?
All right. So you
Yeah,
gather
mysterious
together.
cabin couldn't go wrong.
No.
So you gather together and head back to the last cavern. This is the cavern where you discovered the statue and the swords. And I'm getting some feedback from somebody. I think it might be Christy. There we go. So you head back to the cavern where you found the statue and the swords. And Ari found that gem, key. So as you return to that cavern, still darkish, you've got a little bit of light coming through cracks in the ceiling, cracks in the walls, and whatever. Enough to light your way. But upon entering, you notice that there's something different about this cavern. Everybody give me a perception check.
Uh,
24.
I miss being a high wisdom character. That's an 8 for a total of 8.
Hey, I have high wisdom, and I also got an 8 because I rolled a 3, so it's fine.
Okay.
Nobody's paying much attention right now, apparently. I got a 10.
Except for me, I got a 24.
Yes. So
Greer is going to save us all.
Everybody.
We're exhausted. We just don't want to pay attention to this kind of shit.
Exactly. So everybody. Christy, when as you're doing things, you're making a lot of noise there. So if you want to mute while you're doing those things.
I just put my other microphone back, so we're...
Yep. Cool. Everybody except for Greer. I'll get to Greer in a second. It's still a cavern. Still plenty of water. That statue's still there. But for Greer, you notice something that definitely was not there before. There's a lot more statues now. A lot more.
I'm not seeing those.
There.
Those weren't there before, right? Or am I just seeing things?
They definitely were not there before.
Nobody just moves statues into an empty cavern. This doesn't happen.
And maybe they
Wow.
moved themselves in? Because they were not there before.
What kind of statues are they?
These look like warrior type statues. Shields, spears, swords, all drawn.
Are they the swords that we were fishing out of the water?
You'll have to get closer to see.
Are
No,
they pointing the
Absolutely
swords?
not.
Where are the swords? Like, are they pointing or just posing at them? What are they doing?
The statues are stationary. For the most part, they are
For now.
facing towards the path. Your nearest one is right here.
Or like, are the swords like drawn or pointed at something?
They basically got their shield to the side and their sword pointed forward.
Pointing towards. Like, are the statues facing different directions or the same direction?
They're each facing the path. Their swords are pointing towards the path.
Got it.
Is this the same cavern where we came across the sword that said Guardians of the Guardian on it?
That was from this statue right here.
I think I was not here for that session, so
Mhm.
my
Yep.
memory is a little
Yes.
spotty.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
I was just mentioning that's the statue that.
so
that was.
yeah, are these statues guardians of the Guardian?
Weren't we here before?
Give me an investigation check, Freya.
This is gonna go great because Freya is not the. You know what? I will take that 19
Okay.
for a total of 19.
So
I don't think she has an intelligence bonus. Wait, let me look real quick. Nope. 19. I get confused on who has what, and the answer is neither Evandriel nor Freya has any intelligence.
So, looking at the statue that's closest to you, maybe a few 15, 20 feet away at most.
Cat hair in the mouth.
Yep. Looking at the statue that's closest to you, you notice that it's dressed very similarly to the first statue that you had encountered in this cavern.
Okay.
Same kilt type clothing.
No, Blaze, you cannot
armor.
go up onto my laptop.
Same kilt
Sorry.
clothing, same armor style. The swords look very much the same. Same with the shields.
Okay. So y'all are just seeing Freya kind of look at this statue and go, okay, these are new. Guardians?
Did anyone
Seems to be
steal
looking at
anything?
maps.
Didn't someone take a sword?
That said Guardians of the Guardian on it. And so if the statue over there that we got the sword from is the Guardian, singular, maybe these are the Guardians, plural?
I did pick
Well,
up one of the swords from the pool.
Picked up
Put
two
it
of
back,
them,
put it
actually.
back, put it back, put it back.
Yeah, we
just
didn't
tossed
take
it
anything
back.
from the statue. We took it from the pool.
Oh,
I
well,
don't know that matters, but
do,
I suppose we'll
are
find out.
are any of these statues missing their swords?
Two of them actually are. They're holding spears instead. But Greer,
Huh.
with your 24, one thing you also notice specifically with the one that's closest to you right there, there's a series of slowly drying wet footprints coming up the staircase leading to where this stone statue is currently resting.
They don't look like any of ours.
No, because you didn't come up this side of the path.
Right.
Should we be going back and looking for a different exit?
I don't think there was one, unless we want to go further in.
Are we really afraid of a bunch of statues?
A bunch of moving statues.
Yes, I think the implication that they've moved is the frightening bit.
I don't know. I'm not that worried.
Okay. Everyone walks slowly and as quietly as possible, in case sound might set them off.
Because we've proven so adept at that before.
Well, we can try.
Sarah?
Instead than barging in as loud as we possibly can.
I mean, second time's a charm, right?
Is this statue's what?
Yes, it is. On that statue, that one and only statue, or currently the only one that you can see, the tip of its sword is lit brightly green.
That might be worth investigating. Just saying.
I'm going to start taking a couple steps forward as quietly as possible.
Okay. So you're trying to go stealthily?
Yes.
Everybody trying to go stealthily, or just you?
I mean, if y'all are worried about the statues, should I go first?
I'm not afraid. I just
Like,
would
is it
rather avoid a confrontation if possible.
Let's all just be careful.
Precisely my point. And I keep walking.
Okay. Everybody give me a stealth check, just to kind of gauge quietness. Not necessarily to be
21.
unseen, just to be quiet. Okay.
I also got a 21.
Got it.
See, Arius did learn from last time because he fucked up that one.
Exactly.
10.
I got a 15 this time, even with the
Ooh.
disadvantage.
Very nice.
Ooh.
See, Freya and Arius did learn from their mistakes.
So, including...
I never roll well on stealth checks, ever. Doesn't matter who I'm playing.
Including Saoirse's 10 for stealth, overall, as a group, you are very stealthy. Not making much noise, maybe a little skip of a rock here and there, but otherwise pretty quiet. As you move down the steps, approaching the first pair, which are placed on either side of the steps, you don't see any movement whatsoever. When you approach this one with the currently lit up green... Here, I'll just move you all down there, make life easy. So when you get down to here...
Keep in mind, we're in fireball formation.
That's the best part. Alright, so do this and zoom in a little bit. Adjust the map. Alright, there we go. So as you get up to these two, the one to your left, which is on the right side of the map, not moving at all, dressed very similarly to the guardian statue that you had first encountered on the way into the caverns. The other one, also not moving, but you notice that the spear that it's holding, the tip of it is lit up an emerald green, just glowing, radiating green light.
Sarah, just FYI, you might want to check the character labels on the Twitch stream.
Oh, I didn't do that map. I gotta do that map still. So, I'll go back to this one. Well, I fixed that one. So, go ahead and what would you like to do?
I'd like to get a little closer and look at that green spear.
There we go. Okay.
Identify such a thing.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Whoever would like to investigate this spear statue.
10.
Okay.
That's a nat 1 for a total of 1.
It's pointy at one end.
It's a spear. I'm pretty sure of that.
What are we rolling? Sorry.
Investigation, if you would like.
Can I investigate from where I am, as in not getting closer?
You could do it at disadvantage from a distance.
Like where my token is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I go over here, would still be a disadvantage?
Yeah, you'd have to get within 5-ish feet to do it at advantage, up to 10 feet for normal, and then anything beyond 10 feet is disadvantage.
Okay, hold on.
So
I can have advantage for getting this close.
Yes, you can. Or, seriously, you need to get one more space closer to get advantage. Right now you're at normal.
Cool.
So where I am right now, it looks like I'm 10 feet, but I just want to confirm it's from where
Yeah.
you're
10 feet.
Okay, cool.
I'll
So I
go
can do
ahead
one.
and give that one another try because I'm fine getting real up close and personal to it.
Okay.
Okay. I got a 14.
Okay.
I will take the 17.
Okay.
As you should.
Saoirse, what was your
Better
advantage
than a 1.
on investigation?
Wait, I can re-roll nat ones anyway, can't I?
Yes, you can.
And I'm also going to
I always
guidance
forget
myself
that.
if I can.
Sure.
So that's a total of 15.
Got it. All right. So for the most part, see, I think 14 was the lowest, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you all did pretty good on that one. So you see that the spear is currently pointing straight up. The hilt of it is resting on the floor, whereas all the swords are actually pointed out. The tip looks like metal. If you were to touch it, it would actually be metal. But for some reason, that metal spear tip has decided to glow green for some reason.
For those of you who are closer, does it seem to be producing any heat?
I'll touch it.
So, Saoirse, you're the closest one to it, to the actual spear. Do you try to reach out and see if it's radiating heat?
Sure.
Okay. There's a slight warmth to it, but not necessarily enough to actually like burn you. For Freya and Saoirse, since you two had the advantage on this roll, I'm going to give you a little bit extra. As you're standing this close to the statue, you see on the spear the haft of the spear, is a series of runes. Hard to tell what they say or what their origin is, but there's definitely some kind of runic writing up and down the haft of the spear.
Does it look like the same language that the sword had?
Looks similar.
Want to take this spear with us? We might have to fight a live statue if we do.
Does anyone have, like, I don't know, paper and charcoal? We could take a rubbing of the runes, maybe.
Find strange spears in caves. You're investigating them, and now you want to rub them.
For science? I don't know.
I don't say I have anything of the sort in craft materials.
Look, my job is usually just to whack things, so. What? What?
No one wants to take that one. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right.
What did I
I was going to
say?
leave it to you. You two have been enjoying it.
No.
What did I
no,
say?
No.
No, what did I say so I can make sure not to do it again?
Oh, no. We wouldn't want to stop you from doing that.
I am so confused. I am so confused. Look,
You talk about whacking. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, well, that's literally what I do.
But there's other ways of expressing that wouldn't be an innuendo, is what they're trying to tell you.
Oh, what now?
Never mind.
I give up. I give up. Look, just let me know when something needs to be hit. And I got you.
Got it.
What?
Too many dirty minds at this table. I love it.
I was gonna say, my character is confused. I personally am also confused. So we're just gonna go with confusion all around.
Sounds good.
One precious little innocent mind and a whole bunch of dirty ones. You know, it's just
You know what?
It's a wonderful
I'm used
dynamic.
to it. I'm used to it at this point. I'm used to it.
All right. So you what do you use to take a rubbing of the engraving?
Does anyone have paper and charcoal? I don't.
I'm afraid I don't.
Let's see.
Any of you magic-y types? You guys use that stuff, right?
Guess have anything?
I have none of those things.
Do not carry around paper.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Parchment. At least not currently.
I do not.
From the back of the group, you hear Valpe speak up. You know, I am
Oh yeah,
a
we've
bit of
got him.
a translator. I could try.
We've got that guy. I forgot about him.
You wouldn't mind. What does that say?
Well, you saved my life getting away from those groups, so
Wait,
couldn't
I
hurt.
actually have paper and pen. I do have paper and a pen.
What are you doing with paper and a pen in your pockets?
That's a good question.
We'll find
Freya
out.
is just like sorting through her bag and going, I have no idea why I have these, but I do.
So
Right.
Valpe steps up and takes a look at the spear, and looks closer at the writing that you point out to him. And he spends a few moments just kind of looking up and down the script, which is written vertically instead of horizontally up and down the shaft. And he takes a few moments to kind of piece it out, translate it in his head, and he comes up with Defender of the Endless.
That mean anything to anybody?
Bless. It sounds like it could be undead.
Well,
Defender of the defenseless?
Defender of
Endless.
the Endless.
Endless.
I mean,
I'd
it's
be
kind of
referring
a
to undead of
broad
some
term.
sort.
Could be
Well-
referring to the gods if the gods are endless.
True.
Yes.
isn't the eternal one would also be endless. Eternal, endless,
Eternal one.
same things. But
You mean Frisena?
for Sena, the endless one. That's it, isn't it? From the prophecy. For Sena, the endless one.
I'm gonna need a refresher on this prophecy. What are you referring to?
You can't go around believing every single prophecy that gets dropped off.
Oh, you
It's
should-
like
it's
it
really-
might be important.
Although we should get in the habit of it. It might be very good practice. We've run into a few already.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it does make sense that these might be related to the same prophecy that's in the cave next door.
Yes. And that prophecy is the prophecy of someone called the Endless One.
None of the current
Um,
Pantheon has ever been referred to as an
the
endless one,
the
have they?
first line of this prophecy is the great guardian of mortal kind, Fresenia the Endless One. So I think that's who the Endless is. And if she's the guardian of mortal kind, I guess that would mean us, kind of. And the spear says, what again?
Defender of the Endless.
Defender of the Endless. Fresenia's defender? And,
We can
there's
go all the
references to
way
guardian.
into this cavern. Perhaps something to do with the endless would have been at the end.
Well, and wasn't Fresenia's group called the Emerald something? It's glowing green.
The Council of the Emeralds. Right?
Yeah.
They don't look like they're counseling very many people in here.
Is the spear tip just
and
glowing
it's
green,
the-
or is there? Could
the
I see some
emerald
sort of
step,
emerald in
too.
it?
No, it's a metal-tipped spear that is just glowing green.
Is it magical? Does one of you magic-y types want to take a look at it?
Can't say I know
I
too
could
much
cast
about the arcane.
Detect magic.
That might be helpful.
Right.
The only thing I really know how to do with spears is poke things, so.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
If we have a little time to spare, I can do it as a ritual.
I
No,
don't
we're
think
not
we're
doing
in
anything
any
else.
particular rush.
Sure, let's spend 10 minutes standing below these statues who just mysteriously appeared with glowing spears.
Look, they haven't attacked us yet. We walked past a bunch of them.
I mean, if you have a better idea, feel free.
I don't know, I have nothing better to do with my time than put my life in peril.
Perfect. Glad you think so.
Look, I'll stand between you and the statues if that will make you feel better.
There's a lot of statues, but you are
Well,
slightly statuesque, so it works.
I'm sure they
That's
feel
me too.
fine. They said they had nothing better
Thank
to do.
you, I think.
Didn't they?
Mhm.
Freya's confused by the compliment.
So, Saoirse, as you cast your ritual to detect magic, as soon as you complete the ritual, it's within 30 feet, correct?
Yes, 30 feet. And it can penetrate most barriers. It's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay. So, currently, the only thing that is showing as magic, other than any items you may be carrying currently, is this statue and spear.
And what school information do I get from it?
Enchantment.
So none of the other statues give me any?
They're not within 30 feet.
Not even that other one?
No, it's like 45.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Take a
is.
few steps over.
Yep.
Okay.
You got an hour?
So I'll take a few steps over and just see if that other one pops up.
That one then pops up as
The
magical.
statues are about to charm us.
All right. Well, all of these statues seem to be magical, not just the one with the weird spear. Some kind of enchantment. Can't tell you much more, I'm afraid.
Well, that's probably how they just appeared there then. Magic.
Yeah, but typically something casts a spell, no? I wonder what it did in this case.
Well, if they were summoned, it would be conjured magic.
Well, as long as they're not attacking us, we can maybe continue going.
Mhm.
Have the translation, unless you're wanting to take the spear with us, which I do not recommend. We can
Is
just move along.
is the spear actually a spear or is it stone?
It
Uh,
seems to be metal.
the spear looks to be stone,
Except the
Is it
but
tip.
removable? Not that I'm going to try, but
it looks to be stone, but it has the patterning of wood and metal. Has the coloration of wood and metal.
maybe we should be less concerned about these statues and to what that may have turned these guardians into statues.
You think they were people at some point?
And they're awful detailed. They're not necessarily people, because if, guardians of a guardian.
Entirely possible there's some sort of force
That
that remain in a stone form when they're not needed to protect this cavern and all the others. All the more reason for us to get out of their cavern.
that statue that we passed earlier, the one over there, were there any inscriptions on it?
The only inscription you saw on that one was on the scabbard of the sword, and then also on the blades. It said "Guardian of the Guardians."
Guardians of the Guardian, I think, was the
Guardian
order.
of the. It was Guardian of the Guardians. Or no, you're right. S
Guardians
first,
Yeah,
no
of
S second.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Why would a
Guardian.
guardian of the mortals need guardians? That sounds very precarious.
Hmm.
I really don't know.
I mean,
Maybe they've got some more information back in the Lyceum.
Oh yeah, so Lyceum, the place that's not here.
Do you think that messing with that brazier caused any of this to happen?
maybe.
Yeah, we mess with the brazier.
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
Might have woken something up. But it doesn't seem to be intent on harming us, or it would have by now. So, not that worried.
Yes, well, I don't think we're going to find out anything else right now. So, shall we move on and get the civilians to safety?
I guess.
Absolutely.
All right. So as you wind your way back through these new statues towards the, let's see, I'm trying to remember which one it was. Yep, should be that one. Towards the next cavern back. Make sure this is the right one. Yep, all the way back up there. Get rid of these ones. Go away. So I can get you all in there together. Okay. All together now. Yay. Okay. So as you move through the passageway, passing these statues that are looking at you funny, or not looking at you funny,
Because
hard to
of
tell.
course they are.
Just before you pass into a cave to go into the next cavern, the last statue you come across also has a spear pointed upwards with a green glowing tip. as you look around and keep track of the statues, you notice that both of the two statues that are holding the spears currently do not have their swords.
Anyone want to give them their swords back?
We only have one of them, though.
No, we have two.
No,
2 swords.
2 were taken.
Threw mine
Yeah.
back into the pond.
Don't throw it back into the pond. Give it back to
I
the
already
statue.
did. I found it in the pond. I put it back in the pond.
Better than waking up
Alright,
with one of
then
these things standing
save-
at the foot of your bed tomorrow.
Save the other one so we can give it back to one of the statues.
You just
I'll
go
do
look
it.
and
And
try to
as
hand
you
it
look
to
away
him.
from the statues, you hear something behind you. Statues move closer. For the Doctor Who fans.
See,
Oh.
that is exactly what I
I've
was
been waiting for
thinking.
this to happen.
I was
No.
thinking that from the moment we walked into this cavern, and I was going,
I
uh-huh.
wasn't gonna tempt
Uh-huh.
fate though.
Yeah, these are not
Um,
weeping angels, they're staying put.
Can I attempt
For
to
now.
give one of them a sword back?
You
See
can
what
certainly
happens.
attempt.
All right.
They have an empty scabbard.
It does have an empty scabbard.
Okay. Who's got the other sword that didn't just get thrown back into the pond?
Ari
I
had
was
it.
doing the right thing.
We'll have to pretend Kate agrees with us.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ari would give up a magic item.
Is it magic?
It's not a toy.
It's
so-
light.
Yeah.
It's weightless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah,
And super sharp. And not rusty, despite having
Well-
been in the water for a while.
I was gonna say, I can also go and fish the other one back out if I need to.
Be my guest. I'm not crawling out of there again.
But I will do it. Let's see if this works first. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the blade back.
Okay, so as you slide the longsword back into this scabbard, it slides in easily. Almost like if it had been oiled and buttered and it was just like slippery smooth to get in there.
Nice. Excellent.
And as soon as the hilt of the sword
What a responsible sword owner regularly oils their blade.
Of course. So as soon as the hilt touches the top of the scabbard, the green light goes out. Gold light comes on.
Uh-oh. This means caution,
Cool.
right?
It's gonna turn red.
Right. Like a game of red light, green light.
It's now radiating a golden light instead of the green light.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Let's try putting the other one back.
I guess I'm going for a swim.
Okay. Give me a Constitution check.
Okay.
Not a saving throw, just a check.
Okay. There we go. 22.
Ooh, very nice. All right. So as you dive into the pool, let me back up a little bit. Do you dive in or do you try to kind of carefully step down into it?
I think Freya is going to, first of all, take her armor off because I don't want to have to clean it.
Okay. And how long does it take to take off the armor?
It's what, a minute or something?
It's normally an action to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit because there's a lot of buckles.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
you-
armor
you're able
off
to-
because I'm not gonna jump into deep, possibly deep water with a whole bunch of armor. I swear it is the fear of everyone who wears armor falling into deep water well armored.
Yes.
Not on the list of things I ever want to do. Even in a game.
So are you diving in, or are you walking into it?
Freya's probably just cannonballing.
How far is it down into the water?
I don't know.
Well, the point that you're at right now, there is like a little bit of a slope, just enough to. It's kind of a steep slope, but it's a little bit of a slope going from the path down to the water, and you see that as you're going down the edge.
I'm gonna pick a spot that looks deep enough to jump into.
So as you're walking through this area to try to find the spot, you do see several footprints coming from the water up to the path, and then wet footprints going off in various directions.
So the statues were probably in the water at some point.
It's a possible guess. But as you walk around and try to find the suitable place for diving, you notice that the two rocks that are in the water, the two large boulders, there's also a statue on top of each of those. So, not paying them any mind, you take a running jump and throw yourself off the edge, curl up into a ball, and splash everywhere.
Yep.
The statues are now re-soaked.
And I'm soaked.
And as you swim around,
I needed a bath anyway.
Yep. As you swim around down there, give me an investigation check at disadvantage. Because you're not quite sure where Greer threw the sword.
That is a 14.
Okay. It takes you a while. You've actually got to come up for air a few times. But on the last breath, you swim down 5, 10, 20, 30 feet down. Your ears are hurting.
Yep.
From the pressure.
Yep.
But while you're down there, you do see what looks to be a sword.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'll scoop it up.
Okay. As you come up out of the water, you notice that it's not a sword.
What is it?
It is a severed stone snake. You got the head and most of the body, but where the tail would end is just broken off.
Have we seen any partial stone snakes in here?
You have not.
No, but let me look under the skirt, so no. The kilts.
What? Well,
just Christy being dirty some more.
Someone do something
great.
with this, and then I will just like lob the snake tail at Gray. Snake head. I guess it's the snake's head.
Gray, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Get taken out by
not
a flying
the first
stone
one.
snake.
Snake I've been hit by, and definitely not, the hardest, but ouch!
As you attempt to get out of the way, seeing this thing coming at you, you're not quite quick enough, and the fangs of the snake pierce your arm.
That's
you see a little dribble of blood start to flow.
Bad luck.
I didn't know it had bangs when I chucked it.
And you take 4 points of piercing damage.
Sorry.
Like a chunk of my health.
Sorry. I can fix that when I get out. I can fix it. But I gotta find the sword first, so just hang tight.
Greer, give me a perception check.
Saoirse says, "Not to worry, I've got it." And she goes up to Greer and gives her a little peck on the. Actually, I guess I'm tiny and you're quite tall, so I'm going to be able to reach maybe your side, your flank.
Why are you doing this to Greer? Because it's Gray that took the damage.
Oh, Gray.
I got
Sorry.
the choice.
Oh, okay. I can reach your cheek. I give you a little peck on the cheek.
I'll take it.
I misheard. I'm sorry. I give you a little peck on the cheek, Gray, and give you a little. How much damage did you take?
4 points.
4 points?
4, but I'm down 10 total now.
You're down 10 total? Okay, I give you a little cure wounds for 10. There you go.
Well, never mind. You can throw as many snakes at me as you want.
I am sorry about that. And I will go back to searching for the sword.
Okay. Greer, what did you get for perception? Perception?
18.
How much?
18.
18? Okay. So you're kind of looking in the water trying to remember where you threw the sword, and you kind of think you remember, and you kind of point towards the area, giving Freya some assistance in finding it. So Freya, you dive down again, back down 15, 20 feet, right to the area where Greer was pointing, and you happen to find this other sword. And you're able to
Guess
come
I'm gonna
back
go
up.
return it to the statue.
Yep.
I'm confused. Weren't there like dozens of these swords before? Where did they all go? Oh,
Presumably in the hands of these statues.
see, it took me a second, but yeah.
We know where the swords came from, but not the statues. Maybe the swords summoned the statues.
Well, they were. Yeah, there were swords before, but no statues, so that's entirely possible.
And then the statues walked out of the water to get to where they are now. I thought we already knew this. Didn't we already know this?
Or at the very least, the statues went into the water to get the swords and then came back out.
But there are footprints coming out. There aren't any footprints going in.
Or they
Well, there
dry
wouldn't be.
going in.
Yeah.
They
Would
were
there?
dry.
If they came from another cavern, they'd be
Is-
dry at the time.
Is it
I don't
all
rem-
rock? There's no mud or anything?
I was in the schools before. Do I remember seeing any hands, like any sort of inkling that there could have been statues?
Snakes? Snake statues?
No snake statues, and you don't remember seeing any statues under the water at all.
We weren't here before, so they came from somewhere. Anyway, we have it. We should go.
And Freya's wringing water out of her braid.
What happens when the second sword gets put back?
When you slide the second sword into the other statue's scabbard, the green light goes out, and a golden glow comes up.
That's it?
That's it.
Interesting.
Well, that was underwhelming. I was hoping something would happen.
Do
I'd be very happy. You just don't know.
do the other statues have empty scabbards?
From what you can tell, all of the other statues are currently holding their swords in hand.
The ones without swords
Right.
have the spears.
Yeah. I'm. Never mind. I had a
You
thought
just
and then
rearmed them.
poof. Well, they haven't done anything to hurt us, and they're obviously their swords. So
Mm-hmm.
well,
So
moving on, I guess.
Saoirse is just gonna reach out and test. Does the sword still come back out?
it does.
Does the color change when she does that?
Do you pull it all the way out, or just kind of pull it a little bit?
She just pulls it like an inch or so out just to see if it's still loose or if it like got stuck.
Still glowing gold.
Well, interesting.
Now, earlier when you said that the statues behind us move, was that actual or was that just a reference you were making?
That was just a joke. I
That was to
making.
mess with us.
Okay.
Just because it's very reminiscent of the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. Which is Amy's favorite show. Or one of.
It's up there
So-
for me too.
Yep. So, do you push on towards the next cavern, heading towards the exit?
I'm gonna put my armor back on first once I've dried off a bit.
That might help.
Be with that.
That takes a little bit to do. Putting it on is always longer. But
Greer, did you say you were helping me with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
so over the next several minutes, you're able to get the armor on, and you are able to push on towards the next cavern. On the way back out to daylight. So, you arrive, you're at the top of the map, back into the cavern with the stone architecture and that ancient machine that you didn't quite know what it was.
Can you remind me the name of the guide translator dude again?
Valpe.
Volpe, by any chance, do you know what that may be? Pointing to the machine.
To be honest, I've never seen anything like it. I was kind of curious about it the first time we came through with the other guys. But you know what? I'm not really sure. It looks to be pretty old. I know that much. The only thing I can think of is maybe it might have been from the Lost Kingdom.
I saw some writing on the top when we came through the first time. If we boost you up there, could you try to translate it?
Oh, I could certainly try. Let's see. Trying to think if I wrote that down. Da-da-da-da. I didn't just translate it. Yes. Okay. So you boost him up there, and he looks at the metalwork. Searches around for a little bit, and is able to find the engraving that Ari had originally found. And y'all, if you look over in your journal here in Roll20, you'll see under the handouts and where they're found, there's the caverns below Crescent Moon Castle. You'll find one that says writing found on back of rusted machine. And as he scrambles up there, he takes several moments. You know, this looks very much like the language of the lost. Didn't you say that you had
Language
some
of
paper?
the lost?
The
Yes, I
Lost
do have
Kingdom.
paper.
Hand me a sheet and something to write with real quick, and I'm gonna write this down because I'm
Hand
gonna
him
need like,
my-
translations.
I'll hand him my mysterious paper and pen
Got it.
that
So-
are in fact in my inventory. I was very surprised to find them there.
Yes. So he takes them from you and quickly does not necessarily a rubbing because that takes charcoal, not necessarily pen, but does his best to kind of mimic the look of the lettering, the engraving on this metal thing. I'll have to reference my books back at the Lyceum to translate this for you, but I should have it probably within an hour or so. Shouldn't be too long once we get back up there.
All right.
So, all right. Was there anything else that you wanted to do while you're in this cavern?
Was there anything that we bypassed on the way in? I wasn't here, so.
I think that was the only thing of note.
Yeah, that was really the
The
only thing of
statues and
note.
this thing.
Yep. So,
Unless a DM has a surprise for us.
no, actually, I don't.
She says
Not
that
in
now.
this tavern.
Uh-huh.
No, we kind of made a
So-
beeline straight in here towards,
Yeah, pretty much. So, unless there's anything else that you decide that you wanted to do within this cavern or the next two, you're able to make it back outside, find Freya's horse, which is still tied up.
Yay.
Unfortunately, there are now several guards standing around it.
go. Then put a boot on it.
Maybe.
An illegally parked horse.
How do you put a boot on a horse?
Well, they make
Those
boots
little
for
hobble
horses.
things.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But they also make different kinds of boots for horses.
Let's see, where is it? I had these named, and I'm trying to remember what they were. Nope,
Do
not
I need to
that.
pay a fine or something to get my horse back?
Illegally parked horse.
Something like
Who
that.
parked my horse illegally? It wasn't me.
We figured you wouldn't want your horse to clamber through the caves with us, so we tied it to a bush outside.
Does it have a parking
So-
ticket on it?
So as you approach the horse and the group of guards, one of them notices your group walking up and says, "Oi, this your horse?"
Yes.
What's it doing tied up here? It's supposed to be in the stables.
She had to use the little lady's room in a hurry. We're back now. We'll take care of it.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to fine you a bit for abandoning a horse here.
Not abandoning. We came back.
Well, it's been sitting here for a good 2 hours.
Well, it took us longer in the caves than we thought.
Well,
You
It
expecting
was
us
a
to bring
really
a horse
big
through a
pee.
cave?
She really had to go.
Well, and he writes on a sheet of paper some notes, and then
Saoirse is gonna speak up and say, "Oh, look now. Don't you think it could be just a warning this time?"
give me a persuasion check.
I've never gotten a horse ticket before, so
Oh, I'm rolling so bad today.
don't I get a warning before?
Well, if
get
we
in
gave
trouble?
everyone warnings, we'd be getting nothing done. But unfortunately, luckily the fine for this is relatively low. It's only 5 silver. But just keep in mind, if you're not actively using your horse, put it over in the stables. Keeps them out of trouble. Gets them well fed and well groomed.
Must be a low crime day in this city.
So do you pay the fine? 5 silver?
Yes, I'll pay the fine.
Okay.
She's gonna resist and go to jail.
So you pay your 5 silver, and the guard puts it in a pouch. And just remember, take care of your horse. It's a gorgeous creature. Don't want anyone stealing it. And the 4 guards walk away.
Well, Greer better not loiter anywhere either. That could get expensive.
I was going to say, if Greer could make it through the caverns, why couldn't Storm?
Because
You'd
she's
ask
a
this
medium
question.
size and
I have
Storm
a
is
bit of a-
large.
But I also have a bit of a different, mental capability than your average horse.
Yeah.
And I have 2 extra limbs.
I still recall you taking a tumble.
We're not
But
gonna
it
talk
would have
about
been a bigger tumble if they didn't have arms.
So, as you secure your horse, and I don't know if you're going to mount up at all or if you're going to load somebody else onto it, that's entirely up to you. But you can slowly make your way back over to the Lyceum. Is there any kind of conversations you would like to have along the way? Amongst your party, amongst your newly discovered and old friends?
Anybody want to ride?
It's on Freya's horse, not me. Just for clarification.
Just to remind me, because I'm pretty sure I asked last time, Urine, like what happened to the other 2. He doesn't know what happened to well, I know Zarg is obviously taken, but he doesn't know what happened to Zale.
He does not.
Okay.
They were separated.
Got it. Yeah,
I know.
I thought so.
Why these bandits kidnapped them, besides reading? Was there a purpose? They didn't seem the very, academically inclined type.
Well, I'm just a librarian at the Lyceum, so it's. I'm guessing they wanted me for some kind of reading or translating work. That's usually what I do.
Okay, but they didn't really seem like they're interested in, thinking hard.
Well,
Did they mention anyone that they might be working for? Goals? Purposes? I don't think they were meaning to start a book club.
yeah, they did. They didn't really say much. When we first entered the caverns, I heard a couple of them talking about some kind of beast prince and some mothers or something. I'm not quite sure what it meant. But yeah, they really didn't tell me much. They just needed me to do some translation work.
I don't know about the mothers, but we know who the Beast Prince is.
Do we leave that poor guy tied up down there before instead of interrogating him? I'm sure he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
The one
might
put to
Leave
sleep.
someone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we left the one put to sleep down there. Yes, we did.
Tied
He'll,
up.
Oops. He'll wake up eventually.
Yes. Probably with rats nibbling on his toes.
And all his dead friends around him.
Yeah.
I really don't feel
day.
all
And-
of that bad.
Also tied up. Didn't we tie him up?
Yeah, we were gonna get information from him.
And we forgot.
We were in such a hurry to get out that we just kind of put up the poor chap there.
Yep.
I'm a little bit sad about the information, though, not about him.
Yep.
Because
Does anyone have any experience with interrogations?
I mean, they can't be that hard.
Don't you just whack the guy until he talks?
Somehow I think it's a tad more nuanced than that.
And also, I don't have a problem with hitting someone who deserves it, but someone who's tied up and powerless, that's a different story.
It's
They
just
might
much
be
easier
into
to do
that.
if they're tied up and powerless.
Especially the whacking.
Choose not to think about it.
Yes, if you're gonna whack someone until they talk, let me make it clear. I know a lot of secrets.
What?
Greer's the tallest. It did not go over her head. Anyways, so.
I'm tall. I'm tall.
Yes, you are, my dear. Yes, you are.
What?
Are you 6'8"?
No, I'm not that tall. But most things don't go over my head.
Physically, they don't.
What are we talking about? Why was I... What?
It was just a joke about a cat on a roof, just a little bit over your head.
Where? And Freya's looking up at the roofs going, do I need to save a cat?
Oh dear.
Reflexes are too fast, I would imagine.
Anyway, so there's no way those goons were working on their own down there.
I don't suppose anyone fancies going back and retrieving this guy.
Past all the possibly living, non-living statues?
There was like a whole bunch more of the cave. You remember the two-way
Yeah.
bit. So we could go back, but let's get these two to the Lyceum first.
Yeah.
If he's still there, he's still there,
All right.
And he'll probably be more inclined to talk after a few hours alone in the dark, surrounded by the bodies of his dead friends.
Of course. So
Curious as who was digging for this information.
So, did anyone want to ride? Or am I just riding along on my own?
I don't think you can do much for me.
Oh, I'd love to see Greer hop up there. That'd be quite a treat.
Not happening.
All right.
I heard this bard tell this funny tale of this guy who tricked a centaur into a horse race once.
I think I've heard that story.
Oh, I haven't.
It's a running joke. I've heard it before. It gets old after a while.
It's a running joke. Nice.
I see what you did there.
See, things don't go over my head.
I start walking a couple dozen feet in front of y'all.
Well, I'm riding and can keep right up.
So as you've been having this conversation,
I promise not to challenge you to a horse race.
Hold you to that.
Circe makes no promises, though.
We should get them in a horse race.
Yes.
Otis is used to my jokes, don't worry.
So as you've been having this conversation, you've been walking through the streets of the city of Cragminster, back towards the Lyceum. As you get up close to it, you begin to see this giant stone mesa, basically. So nestled atop the verdant mesa, commonly known as the Stone of Ancients, in the city of Cragminster in the Bregala Empire, the Lyceum of the Ancients stands as a beacon of wisdom and knowledge, mystery and wonder, its spires glinting like jewels beneath the golden sun. This venerable institution, with its intricately carved stone walls and ivy-clad towers, is dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge surrounding the fabled lost kingdom of the ancients, known as the Kingdom of Atlantis. Scholars from far and wide gather here, donning robes of deep azure and gold, symbolizing their commitment to uncovering the secrets of this long-lost civilization. The Lyceum's Grand Library is a masterpiece of architecture, with vaulted ceilings adorned with celestial frescoes, and shelves brimming with ancient tomes, scrolls, and delicate maps depicting the mythical lands and outposts of Atlantis. In the heart of the university lies the Hall of Echoes, a vast amphitheater where learned discussions and spirited debates resonate, echoing the wisdom of the ancients. Students engage in hands-on explorations, piecing together artifacts salvaged from locations discovered throughout all of Hasleos, while masterful instructors weave tales of Atlantean lore, magic, and technology that once thrived in the kingdom's radiant glow. The lush gardens surrounding the Lyceum are filled with rare herbs and plants thought to have been cultivated by the Atlanteans, serving both as a sanctuary for contemplation and a living laboratory for alchemical studies. As dusk falls, the campus becomes illuminated by floating lanterns that dance in the breeze, casting a warm glow of figures huddled over parchments and crystal orbs, deep in the study of prophecies and ancient spells. The Lyceum of Ancients is not just a place of learning. It is a realm where the past breathes life into the present, where the quest for knowledge may yet lead to the discovery of Atlantis itself. And as Valpe leads you up the steps to the doors of the Lyceum, up to the institution itself, he opens those large wooden doors, intricately engraved with various writings and incantations and warding type spells. Inside, the floors are highly polished marble. Inside you find decorations of gold and silver, scrolls.
Guess I better lead my horse outside.
Probably. Scrolls,
Legally park
books,
it this time.
Scrolls, books, maps, various things are placed on shelves everywhere. And you haven't even gotten into the actual great library yet, where the bulk of the collection is. As you pass into the Hall of Echoes, you see written on the walls, or actually etched into the walls, various writings. Some are in common, some are in Draconic, some are in that same strange language that you've discovered atop that ancient machine down in the caverns. Valpe continues to lead you through to the Great Library. As you enter it, it's literally floor to ceiling, wall to wall, books, shelves, maps, in illuminated manuscripts, stone tablets, the occasional piece of armor on display. Is just a collection of knowledge that has been pieced together over the course of the last 1,600 years since the inception of the Lyceum of the Ancients. Valpe shows you to a table and some chairs where you can sit down and rest, while he rushes off to grab a few things to work on that translation for you. While he's gone, what do you do?
Saoirse's just going to kind of marvel at the various different things. She's going to start kind of wandering the stacks and looking at some books. And especially some of the various armors and things that are the physical objects that are on display.
Okay. Is there anything you're looking for in particular, or just kind of window shopping?
If she spots any stuff that's from the Fey realm, she'll, take a moment to appreciate that.
You actually find quite a few things from the Fey realm. Little miniature statues, artwork, even a whole section of shelves that is dedicated to writings and research that's been done about the Fey realm, about Tir Nanog.
I'm just gonna keep an eye over your shoulder, kind of with. I'll stick a half interest in what they have on the Fey realm as well, kind of seeing what you discover.
Freya's just kind of wandering around.
You could darn near be an art installation yourself with all this stuff here.
What?
Oh, not you. Sorta. She's looking at the Fey stuff.
You said there were books here?
Floor to ceiling.
One or two.
Just a few.
Okay.
A lot of books.
Is there a section on both magical items and astrology specifically, like some kind of cross section of those two things?
Not necessarily a cross section. They each have their own section. The astrology section is rather large, as well as the section on herbology and alchemy based on herbology is also quite large, extensive. Yes, you are free to touch the books.
There's many words here. I would have thought they would have been like, hands up your books. I'm gonna pick up books randomly and just flip through the pages, see if I find anything interesting.
Is there anything in particular you might be looking for?
No, I'm just being nosy.
Okay.
In my case, one of the things that I wanted to learn more about when coming to this place in the post, when coming to this world anyway, was the orb of astral seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't sure if that would fall more into like a magical item or something related to the astrology aspect.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Oh, hold on, that's the wrong areas.
You don't suppose they have an adult section here?
I'm also going to guide myself with this one.
Okay. Okay.
13.
13. All right. So as you're looking through the various astrological and see, you got astronomical and astrological sections. You do find a number of books on magical implements, magical items. You even find one. Let me see if I can find the name of it. Because I had it written down. Where was it? Yes. You even find one book by a person that went by Headmaster Balric. And it is an entire treatise on or not necessarily a treatise, but all of the research notes and various other writings about an Atlantean observatory, which includes several celestial charts and other things. You find another book in this same section that is referencing various astrological measurement devices, whether it be creation by the Atlanteans or by other civilizations. And as you look through this book, you do find a small little section. It's only about a paragraph, maybe 4 or 5 sentences, that is talking about the orb of astral seeing. It was originally devised by the Atlanteans. but was lost over 2,000 years ago.
That's all it says.
That's all it says.
And what is this book? What is this book exactly?
This book is astrological instruments and other mechanical measurements. It's the name of the book.
And I'm assuming if I skim through it, I won't find any other reference to this.
Nope. This one paragraph, these 4 or 5 sentences, is all you find in the entire book.
So, astrological instruments and other mechanical. What was it?
Astrological. I'm trying to remember what I said now. Astrological instruments, or I'll write it down and send it to you. It's basically astrological technologies for measuring.
Devised by the
astrology.
Atlanteans, lost 1,000 years ago. Good to know.
Yep. Somehow it wound up in your hands.
Well, I'm not telling anybody yet.
Probably wise. All right. Was there anything else you were looking for?
Nope, that's kind of one of my focuses right now. The other one is obviously not something the library can help me with.
Okay. Gray, what section are you currently looking through in the library? Gray.
Oh, it was where we were left.
Is there a particular section that you happen to be in right now?
I mean, no. Where did he wander off to and leave us?
He wandered off to his office to get some books to work on the translation for you.
Are there any other librarians flitting around here?
There's 4 others currently in here.
Go strike up a conversation with one of them.
Okay.
Maybe an attractive one of them.
And actually, when I get the chance, when they're done, there's something else I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. All right. So you wander up to one of them. It's a half-elf female. Long red hair. Thin. Wearing azure and gold robes. She's currently reading a book with a whole cart of books that she's supposed to be putting back. Do you strike up a conversation with her?
Yeah, this is going to be mostly just chatting and flirting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Asking what the best books were to read and, you know, what she's interested in her downtime.
Oh, well, I do like a lot of the books about the gods. Those are kind of fun. And she's noticing you kind of looking her up and down, and she's blushing. Was there something I could help you with?
I mean, not necessarily with reading, but, you know. Nice to see a pretty face amongst all these dusty tomes.
Oh, you're too kind. If you're looking for anything in particular, I can probably help you out.
Oh, well, perhaps you can read a few passages out of some of these love sonnets over here. Yeah.
I suppose I could do that. And she'll go
Are you
over.
flirting in the library?
Yes.
What better place to flirt?
What am I going to do while we're waiting?
So she goes over to a whole different section, picks out a book of poetry, and she'll open it up and she'll start reading it. But it is in a language you do not understand at all.
Yeah, as long as she looks pretty while she's doing it. Gray doesn't care.
Yeah. I mean, she's relatively attractive.
Freya's just kind of watching this, confused.
Oh dear.
So yeah, she'll go
Freya's
through...
gonna need some lessons.
Yeah, she'll go through and read several different passages and kind of look up at you every now and then just to kind of gauge your interest, and then go back to looking at her book.
Saoirse notices there's a pretty half-elf reading poetry and decides to come join the observation.
All right.
You gotta throw salt in my game.
At that point, Freya's gonna come over to you going, "Oh, this is a group thing now, okay."
But no, I don't do group things.
What language is
How you do?
this poetry in?
It is in ancient Atlantean.
Okay.
So it's a language that is
I'll ask for a more
studied.
private rating.
Yeah, it's a language that is very much studied here at the Lyceum, but is not a common language. So, was there anything else anybody else wanted to do?
Is there a section on like current events?
Really not.
No, unfortunately not. Not within this library, anyways. This is all ancient research, ancient civilizations.
It is the Lyceum of the Ancients.
It's a library. I was wondering. Sometimes they have
something
current events.
slightly less ancient.
There's like one book in one corner somewhere, you know.
I think
Someone's diary, probably. That's probably the most current events that's going on.
Yeah, if you're looking for current events, their most current events took place about 600 years ago.
Cool. I'm just gonna wander to the group.
Okay.
We're all
It's now story time.
we're all joining Gray. Are we cramping your style?
Gray looks very, very grumpy now.
Freya just kind of pats them on the back. Probably harder than she intended to.
Doing great.
Well, everyone else is collectively flirting with one librarian.
The rest of us are flirting. We're just awkwardly there.
Everyone is either flirting or awkwardly present while flirting is going on.
Clearly, they're unable to read the room.
Iris is going to head over to Urine with the same book and just excited to say, look, I found my first clue as to what this thing may be.
A clue?
Specifically to you. So I'm not by your harem.
Click.
Who do you walk up to and talk about?
Urine.
Oh, your buddy.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say?
Well, all it says is it was devised by Atlanteans and lost 1,000 years ago. Not much, but again, first clue.
Well,
So at least I know that the best plan of action is to look more into the Atlanteans.
Well, it'd be a good first step for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you've had your heart set on reading those stars.
Oh, unfortunately, plans have changed. I mean, I still want to do this, but we have 2 friends missing.
So true. Yeah. Wish I had more to give you, but we were separated quite a while ago.
Mm-hmm. Could you remind me where you were separated?
Well, I know that the Zarg was taken pretty early after we were captured.
And unfortunately, I know what happened to him.
Yeah. What did
Something
happen
my
to him?
group is working on.
You
Oh.
haven't said what did happen?
So about that. Me and my group originally met for a shared enemy. That enemy being some kind of gigantic minotaur who seems to have Zord.
Well, that's not very good. Heard several of
No, but
my captors talking about it, and that minotaur is a bit cannibalistic.
cannibalistic?
That's what they said. Not sure if it means he
Oh
eats his
boy.
own kind or if he just eats people in general.
It certainly raises the stakes here. Well, prior to going to get you, my friends and I, my companions and I were devising a plan to find this Minotaur. A few of them already have a bone to pick with them as is.
Well, I mean, I can wait here in the city if you want, or I can head back home if you wanted to go with them.
Well, there's no way I'm gonna let Zarg stay with that creature. But in terms of fighting Zale, I think it's best that you stay here, maybe find some clues.
Well, I can definitely ask around and see what I can find, because I'm pretty sure that he's still with a group of the same bandits that took me. But he was separated at the mouth of the cave, so I'm not sure where they took him.
And it is actually for you, Sarah.
Hmm.
Was there any indication why they took urine?
Nothing yet. You haven't really asked any of the bandits.
Yeah, the one that we could have asked. I mean, one escaped, the other ones are dead, and one of them we just kind of left tied up. So we're
Well,
not the best investigators.
that would probably be your first option, is to talk to the one that you left tied up. Might give you some
Yes, I guess we
answers.
do gotta go back. Yeah. But meanwhile, and who's the next year? And you're in, they didn't ask. They never mentioned why you were why they took you specifically.
No, they never said. Just that it was part of some debt that they had to pay off.
Hmm. Some debt they had to pay off.
That's what they said.
Did they mention to who?
The only thing, outside of the group that was there, the only people that they talked about was the beast thingy and the mothers. That's all I heard. The rest of the time they were just using me as a punching bag.
Is he hurt?
He's pretty beat up. Not on like death's door or anything, but he's definitely worse for the wear.
We'd healed him up a little bit at the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Goodberry and hand him 5, I suppose.
Okay. And he'll go ahead and take the first one, wait a little while, and take the second and third and fourth and fifth over time.
Does he still look like does he still look either like hungry and or just like beat up?
As he eats the first berry, some of the wounds start to knit themselves. Some of the bruising starts to fade as he takes more of the berries over the next hour or so. More of that will go away.
Got it. Okay.
It's narratively worn out.
Yes.
Not mechanically.
And it's about this time that Valpe comes back with an armful of books, most of which look at least a few hundred years old, at least. But he comes back, sets them on the table, sits down with the transcript of what he copied off of the machine, starts going through his books page by page, finding individual symbols, groups of symbols, kind of piecing the words together. And what he comes up with is a short phrase that says, "By Atlantis we shall overcome."
So this is probably a fairly big find. I imagine your people would be very interested in going back into those caves to research.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even know they were there, to be honest, until they kind of dragged me down there. But yeah, I would love to get back down there and do some more research and translate some more of those wall writings, especially on the one with Fresenius prophecy. But I will probably take some of the scholars and maybe some of the acolytes down there with me. Disciples are too young; they're not quite ready for that. But the acolytes and scholars, I'll probably bring a few of them down there to help me with the translations, and might grab some of the Lance of Cragminster to guard us while we're down there. But yeah, definitely a research trip I see coming up. It's not often I get out of the library, so this will be an exciting little adventure.
Probably less exciting than your last one, hopefully.
I don't know. That was actually quite an exciting little thing. Dangerous, but quite exciting. So, now that you've brought me home, was there anything I could do to further assist you in your goings about?
So, you said by Atlantis we shall overcome? Does it mean anything to you?
From the readings I've done and the research that I've been part to, if I remember correctly, Atlantis was an ancient king of Atlantis, of the kingdom. But that was, if I had to wager, I guess, it was definitely before the Great Freeze. Probably 20,000 years ago.
Well, perhaps the prophecy's come and gone before then.
Well, the prophecy was given in let's see, what was it? 280. Let me see if I can remember. In 283, after the Great Freeze, or as we like to put it, AGF, just for shorthand. So, Fresenius prophecy definitely came after the Great Freeze. And there's been no world-ending wars since then that I'm aware of. At least I hope not, because I'm still standing here, so I hate to have missed it.
You hate that you would have missed a terrible war?
I'll think of all the research I could have done.
I mean, not if you're dead.
True. Probably want to avoid getting into the battles myself.
Well, maybe this mysterious device was just an old Atlantean thing, not related to any prophecy.
Not sure. Because the machine itself definitely didn't look 20,000 years old. 1,000 or two at most. Definitely.
What about those statues? Any thoughts on those?
So the etchings said Guardian of the Guardian, or Guardians of the Guardian, and Defender of the Endless. So the Endless, I'm guessing, probably refers to Fresena, the Great Golden Dragon, who presided over the first gathering of the Council of Emeralds. As far as the Guardians go, I can only wager a guess at best that because if I remember correctly, in the original lore of Frisena, she was created by the Tuatha for the purpose of guarding mortal kind against the gods' tyranny and the evils released by Pandora's Pythos. So the only thing I think of is that those stone statues, or what they might have been before they became stone statues, I don't know, were in charge of guarding Frisena, or something related to Frisena.
Hmm.
And I think that might be actually a great spot for us to take a short little break. So we will be back in about 15 minutes for those of you in chat right now. So make sure to stick around, enjoy the slideshow of pretty pictures and information and music. And we will be back in about 15 minutes. So we'll see you then. right, welcome back, everyone. I can't talk today. Welcome back, everyone. There we go.
An echo.
Our party has done a lot of conversating and...
There's a big echo. Sorry.
Amy, you want to mute?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. There you go.
Okay, that's better. So our party has done a lot of role-playing, learning information about the caverns that they were in, the statues that they found, learning about their various... what kind of brought them together as far as the Minotaur and other things. They've assisted Valpe back to the Lyceum of the Ancients and even learned some lore there, as well as getting that piece of Atlantean script translated. So that brings us back to the present. What would you guys like to do now?
We going back to the caves to interrogate the one bandit and explore more fully?
Probably should.
Well, if I'm not getting anywhere with the librarian, I guess.
In terms of exploration, what didn't we explore that you guys wanted to?
There was a whole nother
Oh, right. Yep. You're right.
passage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could wait till tomorrow. Let the poor guy sit in his,
It's not going anywhere.
There's a chance he could escape if we wait.
His
Really,
friend could always
though.
come back too, and grab him.
I mean, we killed off all of his buddies.
Except for the one person who escaped.
What's the likelihood of them actually going back to the scene of the crime? Unless they have a death wish.
Suppose it's a risk we have to decide if we want to take.
What time of day is it?
It is currently getting close to like 6 or 7 in the evening.
I guess it doesn't matter whether it's light out if we're underground.
My question is, from the character's perspective, or just in general, how long would a trip into and out of the cave to interrogate take? Excluding the interrogation time, how long would it take to get to where that person is and come back? Like, how long is the travel?
From the Lyceum through the city into the caverns to find that sleeping person, the one that's tied up, would probably take you a good hour and a half. And then about the same
Considering
back.
that we have no reason to go slow.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be another hour back to find an inn or something.
Right.
Oh, if it makes a difference, I can cast Lehman's Tiny Hut. It's a spell. If you're not familiar, it makes like a little safe place to rest.
Is that a third level spell?
I have a fancy staff.
Gotta love that.
Doesn't sound nearly as comfortable as a nice, cozy inn.
I don't agree with the inn idea.
I mean, I would have said, the librarian's room is probably just as cozy, but not going there either, I guess.
Oh, wait, why would you go to the librarian's room?
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, we're not librarians.
It's always the quiet ones.
Well, I'm up for another trip down into the caverns.
Or voted, Gray.
Well, according to Urine, they have some familiarity with that Minotaur, so perhaps we could get some more information on him as well.
I do argue with that.
We unnecessarily spend a night Still on the dank, hard floor.
Is that what blankets are for? Bedrolls? Do you not have one of those?
I'm pretty sure I do, but I mean, given the choice.
Oh yeah, I do have one of those. Okay.
But let's just snuggle me and rub my soft ears. Would it make a difference?
I mean, tiny hat's a little bit small for that kind of snuggle, but possibly.
What kind of snuggle? You said that kind. Wouldn't a small space make snuggling more necessary?
You're adorably obtuse.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This soft beds or not makes no difference to me. So
Ah.
wherever y'all would like to go.
I always sleep best out in the open.
Well, there's nothing open about a cave, little flower.
Well, yes, but you know what I mean. I find walls confining. Like man-made walls. Natural walls are fine.
I prefer a soft bed and a warm body.
Well, I can give you 1 out of 2.
Notice she isn't specifying.
Can your spell make soft beds too?
That wasn't the one I was offering.
I'm gonna go back. We should do that sooner rather than later, I suppose. So, anything else that anyone needs from around here, or should we start heading back?
If we're gonna do it, I agree. Sooner rather than later.
Fine, we'll go into the dank, dark, dreary tunnel again. Did the poetry reading at least count as a short rest?
No. But your time with the investigations throughout the entire library, reading books, and just generally relaxing. Yes. So you can all take a short rest if you would like. But Volpe does say that before you guys head out, as a way of saying thank you for bringing me back, and he reaches over into this little satchel that he's brought back out with him, along with all those books that he was carrying, and he hands out 6 healing potions.
Basically 1 each.
One each. Unless you want to double up on somebody. So, well, if you're...
Those just regular healing potions, or?
Yeah, just regular basic healing potions. He says, if you all are heading back down into the caverns, see if you can find any more writings down there, or things that we can possibly translate later. I'd definitely love to get back into those caves soon, if I can get approval from the headmistress.
Speaking of, do you have some extra paper and maybe charcoal that might work better than this pen? Because I only had the 1 sheet of paper.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find some. I mean, we're plenty of books in here. There's got to be some paper around somewhere. And then he rushes off to his office, grabs a stack of papers and some charcoals, and brings them back out. So you can add some charcoal and 50 sheets of paper.
D&D Beyond doesn't have charcoal.
Interesting.
It just has ink pen,
That works.
which I already have.
Well, you can add a second ink pen and then just call it, kind of rename it to charcoal. Or you can just create a custom item and add it as charcoal.
Yeah.
Either or.
Pretty much at any given time.
I
you can
lied. I
probably
had
make
5
charcoal.
sheets of paper, but now I've got 50.
Yep. Nice little stack of papers for you. All right.
Should Freya really be the one carrying the paper and pencils?
Hey, you became in charge of it when you talked about it.
Well, I happen to have it in my bag. I still don't
And
know
now
why.
you happen to have more.
Yes.
See how that works? You have more stuff. It's like dibs, except with just mentioning shit.
Pretty much.
That's how that works. It's yours now.
I'm the party's bash and whacker, though.
You gave yourself that title. You continue to step into it with it.
Yes. Yes, I do. It's rather foreign to me, actually.
Paper or reading?
Yes.
None of the above. Not thinking things through completely before doing them. Not
Okay,
foreign to
see-
Freya. Foreign to me as a player, though.
I highly encourage you to do everything that you have the urge to do. Life is much more interesting if you do.
Is this in character now?
Yes. I mean, out of character too. I mean, not all the urges, like, you know. Let's skip over the invasive thoughts.
You know, my urge today was to move to a remote chalet in Finland, so I'm not going to do that.
You're fine.
I don't need to live further out in the middle of nowhere than I already do.
Could be fun, though.
It could be fun, but...
All right. So do you gather your stuff and head back towards the caverns? Or do you head towards the inn or the shops? Or what do you do?
Good, I voted on the inn.
Oh, wait, we did the inn? I thought we were going to the caverns.
That's what I was asking what you were doing.
Did
Me and
I
Gray
mean-
wanted to go to the inn, but everyone else kind of outvoted us on caverns.
Because we really want to leave that poor guy tied up all night alone?
Depends if you're humanitarian, which I guess some of
Yes.
the characters probably are.
Yes.
I mean,
I'm not entirely upset about it.
I'll be more willing to talk in the morning.
I'd only worry that he'd escape, but if you really
Or-
want to wait, we can wait.
If he's
Well,
tied
I'm
up, do you really think
concerned
he's
by
going
something.
anywhere?
Is that he's going to escape and not something's going to find him and eat him. It is a cave system after all.
If he does escape when we tied him up,
Plus, I'm
that's just
fairly
respect.
certain...
So.
I'm fairly certain leaving him alone in the dark, tied up all night, is some form of torture.
We were planning on
And-
torturing him anyway, weren't we?
No, we were not.
How else are we going to get information out of him?
You can ask questions.
Do you think he'll answer?
I can be persuasive.
That's what
Sure,
torture is
I'm
for.
I'm sure. I'm sure when you stand over someone with the angry face, you're being very persuasive. And they're not just giving you information because you're rather imposing.
You know what? I want to see her try.
I want to see her try with you too. Let's go ahead and have a stare down.
All right. Shall we?
It's on.
Okay. Two of you can give
You know,
me.
while you're having this stare down, we're wasting precious time. We could either be going to the cavern or going to the inn, right?
Just a moment.
If the two of you want, you can give me a Constitution check for your staring competition.
Oh, come on! I am wasting a nat 20 on a staring contest.
Well, you win.
Greer, what did you roll?
Just a straight con. 15.
23.
So, you get set, blink out several times, try to lubricate your eyes so you can withstand the torment. About 30 seconds in, Greer, your eyes start to itch. They start to feel dry. You really, really want to blink, but you hold on. Another 30 seconds, 45. Your eyes are starting to burn. Freya, your eyes. You've done the torture treatments. You've tortured your body so many times over the years during your training. This is nothing for you. You just concentrate. You focus dead on the center of her nose. And the blinking...
Oh no, I'm making eye contact this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making eye contact this whole time and making it super uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
I'm not uncomfortable. Like, not from the eye contact itself, but physically.
So, Freya, what is running through your mind right now as you're doing your best to keep your eyes open?
Oh, this is the, like, challenge accepted, just, like, straight competition.
Okay. Greer, how about you? What's going through your mind as your eyes are burning with the desire to close and blink?
Just win. Competition. Cannot lose.
Am I sensing some tension between these two?
Maybe.
Maybe they haven't figured it out yet.
Goes on for another...
Oh, Freya's just going, oh yeah, I'm in this. I'm gonna win this.
Definitely tension.
No doubt. No doubt in her mind.
No doubt. Goes on for another 30 seconds. Full minute passes. You're now into like the 3-minute mark. And Freya, your eyes are starting to get a little dry. They're starting to itch a little bit with the possibility of wanting to close. Greer, your eyes are yelling at you. They're screaming at the top of their proverbial lungs. You'll be lucky if you can make it another 20 seconds. And just as you hit the 18-second mark, a mote of dust flits down and lands on your eyelash, and it's just enough to trigger that blink, costing you the competition.
Oh. And a love of
Freya extends a hand and says, "Good game."
She stares at you, hands on her hips, and walks off.
Oh well.
Trots off.
As the
I should have been prepared for the horse puns. I don't know why I wasn't.
Yep. As the sound of your hooves cracking against the polished marble just kind of echo in the halls. Especially once you get to the Hall of Echoes. It just like, reverberates.
I will say, it was your fault for challenging me.
I will never not challenge if there is an opportunity that presents itself.
I did not put that thought in anyone's mind. Anyways.
And I mean, I will never back down from a challenge.
Oh, wait till we get to the rodeo challenges. Anyway.
You know, I'm an
was it
excellent
not?
rider. I feel like I would be really good at those.
Are we ready? Are we on our way? I'm out the door.
I hope we're not stealthing. Buzz Gray is laughing the entire way down.
Yeah.
Freya's
The
just
echo
there going,
laughed.
I don't know what I said that was funny, but I'm glad that it was amusing, whatever it was.
With the sound
Like,
of
Freya is a farm kid, so rodeo challenges would be her jam.
with the sound of the clacking of hooves and incessant laughter between the party members, you make your way back out of the Lyceum, down the steps of the Stone of the Ancients, back through the streets of the city to the entrance to the caverns. You see a group of guards standing there.
Can we drop my horse off at the stables on the way so I don't get another horse parking ticket?
I'm going to assume you probably already did.
Yes. Or at least pay the meter this time.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get back to the entrance to the caverns, there's a group of guards standing there, guarding that entrance that shouldn't have been open in the first place. What do you do?
You just tell them that we left something down there and don't mind us.
We could tell them that we're investigating for more writings for our friend up at the Lyceum.
Hmm?
I don't know, that seems like a decent idea. It's worth a try. Who's the most convincing?
Probably me. Let's just try to walk in like we own the place.
Or that'll go well.
Sure.
It's like a performance check.
Yes, a performance check from all of you.
Oh dear.
I'm guiding myself through this. Ooh,
I rolled those.
Very nice.
14.
22.
Okay. Freya, Saoirse?
21.
I will guidance myself as well, so let me just add another 4d4 to that.
Gray, what were you saying about being the most persuasive? Or convincing?
I'd be. There are moments. I don't have the best performance.
All right. So, with a 12 being the lowest, you seem reasonably sure of yourselves in your performance of having a purpose for going down there. So once you get up to the guards, they stop you.
What are you doing here? Nobody's supposed to be here.
We are headed down into the caverns to conduct some research for a friend of ours up at the Lyceum of the Ancients.
Did they by chance give you any kind of paperwork saying something as such?
No, he just gave us some healing potions. We rescued him from the caverns earlier.
Well, let me see. It sounds official enough. It's really slippery and dark in there, so you might want to be careful, especially you with the hooves. It's really slippery in there with all the waters.
Oh, we were down there earlier today.
Yeah.
We're aware
We know what
of
it's
the
like.
risks.
Well, it sounds like you know what you're doing, so go ahead, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Freya walks straight in.
And you pass straight through, and wandering through the caverns again, you eventually wind up back in the last cavern that you were in, where you left the man tied up. But
Maybe he'll be grateful to us for having come back to him, or come back for him.
But as you look over towards where you left him tied up, you see the dead bodies, especially the decapitated one, but no
Got scissored to
tied
death.
up. No one tied up and sleeping.
Well, there we go. He was either freed or eaten by something.
I try and see if there's any, like, footprints or any sort of inkling as to which direction they might have gone.
Give me a perception check.
I almost said, and I'll give you guidance, and then I remembered.
Yes, I'll take care of that. Guidance.
Oh Lord. Is that a D4?
Yes, it is.
That's gonna help so much. Oh, yay! That was a 1 too. Well, note that's 4 plus 2 plus 1. So 6.
4 plus 2 plus 1. So 7.
Yay.
He's definitely not where you left him. All the torches are still burning. The dead bodies are still there.
There's not a blood pool where he was, so maybe he didn't get eaten.
No.
Is there the rope, like sawed off or anywhere?
Nope, you don't see any rope.
So he's still tied up wherever he is.
Or he just
Obviously
took the
hit the
rope
rope.
with him because it would be handy.
If anybody else would like to, they can give me a perception check.
I'll give it a try. And I'll guide myself. 15.
Okay. So 15 and 19. Saoirse's 10. Frey, did you want to roll one as well, or?
Sure, why not? I don't have a bonus or anything, but what the heck. I'll take the straight 17 though.
Okay. So Saoirse, you are looking around. You're trying to find hints of anything. You see little drops of blood here and there, but they kind of stop, and then you don't see them going anywhere else. For the rest of you, you see the drops that Saoirse points out, and it looks like you don't see footsteps. You see kind of, let's see, what's the best way to describe this? Long disturbances of dirt and dust in a kind of slithering pattern.
Yeah.
He inchwormed himself out.
Well. Yeah, I'm sure he just slithered out. He's fine. He's fine.
You see them as they cross over the water bridge right there in the center of the map, and kind of as you kind of follow it along, you see that it kind of curls up over onto that green area towards the top right of the map, up near the waterfall.
You know, he's gone. I think it's okay if we just kind of let that one slide and we just leave slowly. Quickly, actually. And go find that inn.
Shouldn't we
With a nice cozy
follow
bed.
this trail He might need help.
I don't think he's gonna be able to be helped at this point in time.
Why?
I mean, blood and a trail that looks like he was drug off unwillingly.
Well, then he might still be okay, in which case we should, help him.
He wouldn't have helped us.
I think we need to save our energies for more important details.
The bandit who tried to kill us, who kidnapped this good fellow's friend.
Well, exactly. He might have information that we need.
I think that time is long past.
Let's just follow it and see where it goes.
Through the same camp, are there any notes, papers, anything that might clue us in as to what kind of plan these people had, if anything?
Give me an investigation check.
Should we go over to where the things are or were?
That's I'm just assuming that I'm there when I'm doing the investigation check, and I'm gonna guide myself because, of course, I'm rolling pretty damn good tonight. I can never roll like this on Tuesdays.
Right.
I got a 21. Sorry, a 22.
Nice. Very nice. So yeah, as you start looking through their stuff, it's mostly just supplies, food, water, little bits of medical supplies, a lot of like cave exploring equipment, like pitons and rope and other things that might be useful in a cave, but not really anything written down.
I still think we should follow the trail.
The trail went into a waterfall specifically?
No, it went up
toward the waterfall, not into the waterfall.
Suppose if we're gonna do this, we might as well be thorough.
Precisely.
Yes.
I mean, we came all the way back down here. We might as well.
If it makes you feel any better, you'll probably get to punch him.
That does make me feel better.
Oh, you were talking to Greer. Okay, that makes more sense.
Well, I think that's open to whoever wants to punch him.
I have no particular desire to punch him, unless he does something that.
Unless he's already somebody
punched again.
For the two of you that got over a 20 on your perception check, you hear what sounds like small rocks being disturbed and falling.
Well, time's a wasting.
They sound like they're coming from. They sound like they're coming from the green patch on the other side of that little land bridge up towards the waterfall.
Is anybody coming with me?
I guess I am.
Let's go.
Yeah, might as well.
I'm not staying over here alone.
Were you one of the ones who got over 20 on that perception?
I'm just walking along the path.
I think I rolled a 19.
Arius and Freya that got over the 20.
No, my perception was a 15.
What was it?
My investigation was over that.
That's right. I know somebody rolled over a 20. So, yeah.
Do.
Do. So as you start getting up closer, you start hearing heavy breathing of somebody who's getting near exhaustion from his mode of travel.
Everyone's just slithering away.
I'm gonna just walk up to him and go, progress is slow, huh?
And he just
We're
rolls
back
over.
to save you. Yes.
He just rolls over onto his
Ish.
back and just looks up at you. Not even complaining. He's just exhausted.
All right, let's get
Does that
you
mean that
sitting
there's
up.
an exit this way?
You want some water?
Please?
Why are you being nice? We want
No. I'm gonna grab the water skin out of Freya's hand.
Hey, can I not let her do that?
That'll be a contested. We'll go with. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Contested dexterity check. So each of you can roll a dexterity check.
19.
And I do actually have a dexterity bonus, so that's also a 19.
Oh, interesting. Let's see, how are we going to work this one? I love ties.
Time for rollies, or
Is this gonna be another stare down? Round 2.
So as you both kind of grasp onto this water bag, pulling back and forth, it's obvious neither of you is giving way. Let's go for another contested roll. Dexterity.
Can I do athletics to just try to wrench it with brute strength?
I'll allow that.
Okay.
my athletics is the same as my dex, so
21.
22.
Ooh,
Oh!
I love it.
I rolled an 18.
So,
Let's go.
so Freya, as you start to pull the bag back towards you, thinking you've got the upper hand, Greer's finger slips underneath your fingers just enough to break your grasp, and she takes the water bottle from you.
I wink at you.
If we're nice to him, maybe he'll tell us what we want to know.
Well, be nice.
Two
Once
are
he
definitely
tells
gonna
me
have
what
to
I
work
want.
out something.
So I push in front of her. You can have a drink when you tell us all about who you work for.
Ooh, and a berry too. I have 5 left. Might as well use it for interrogations.
Fine. A berry as well. After you tell us everything you can tell us about your employers.
They're really good too. I made them myself.
I think we've made the point.
As
Is this good cop, bad cop?
One would say they're good berries.
A good guard, bad guard?
You will
Did
get a
Berry
drink
get
of
berry?
water and a good berry after you tell us everything you know about your employer.
you can see,
And no one else will say anything about it.
you see a stressed look on his face as he's contemplating his choices.
Because
And-
it's also the 2 people who killed and decapitated his
Exactly.
boss
The immediate
standing
superior.
over him.
So you see him biting the inside of his cheek. You can see like the cheek actually go in as he's biting it. You see his hands.
Freya's going to kind
still
of
bound.
admit defeat here and just stand there and try to look as intimidating as possible.
You see his hands still bound, trying to reach over to a pocket or something on his left hip, not quite able to reach it. And he, after a few moments of contemplation and struggling, he gives up. Go ahead, ask your questions.
Asked it already. Who do you work for?
Garzik.
Who is
Is that the
Garzik?
guy that we took his head off?
He's laying over there dead.
Who does he work for?
You mean name of a person or organization or what?
Yes
Everything.
to both.
Do you know of his motivations for alliances?
Um, well, I don't know the name of the person that he works for, but we're all part of the Bannerhawks.
Bannerhawks.
Why exactly did you capture my friend?
I just did what I was told.
Okay, why did your group want him then?
Like I said, I just did what I was told. I don't know the information. Garzik knew all that.
Does that mean that you do or don't know why you were here translating that wall?
I was told to guard the guy, and that's all I did.
You didn't do a very good job, did you?
Look, I've been doing this for like 3 weeks. I'm new here. They don't tell me nothing.
It's just a career change.
Can I insight check that?
Absolutely.
That he doesn't know anything?
Absolutely.
17?
Okay. You can, as he's saying this, you can kind of see his eyes moving side to side, like he's looking for a way out.
Step on one of his hands.
Ow! Oh!
Hey.
Oh!
You're lying to me.
Ow!
I know you are.
Oh!
You're
Just
lying? And I was going to give you a good berry, too.
tell her what she
Take my
wants to
foot off.
know, or
And he brings both of his hands up and kind of cradles them right at his neck, just trying to
You want me to do the foot
protect his
next?
fingers. No, please.
Then tell me.
What was your question again? I can't think.
Tell us about what he was after and what your group was doing.
We, the only thing I knew was that Garzik needed to find something down here, and the translator dude, he was just supposed to translate some writings down here to get us to the next caverns, to the next areas.
There is. You had intended to spend more time down here. There was more he was after.
That's really all I know. I don't know what they are after.
And you don't know why my friend was grabbed?
I honestly don't. I was already down here when he was brought down.
to continue into the next cavern, what did you have to do?
That part I don't know. I think it was something in the translations or something.
What about the brazier?
I don't know. That was all Garzik. I was just supposed to guard the guy.
Well, unfortunately, Garzik can't tell us much, so...
Well, you can if you speak dead.
I don't think any of us do.
Well, but you don't know who Garzik is working for. I'm assuming the Bannerhawks.
Bannerhawks.
Yeah, I was intentionally getting it wrong. Bannerhawks, are, some sort of glorified underground book club. Yeah, it doesn't look like the scholarly type. So clearly he was working for someone or getting something for someone else.
Greer, give me a perception check.
18.
Okay. So while he's got his hands held up at his throat right here, you see a glint of something reflective, possibly metal. as he pulls his hands back a little bit and goes to start thrusting them towards his neck.
Step on the hand again.
So you step on his chest, because that's where his hands are. They're literally right here.
Ah.
So you
Okay.
step on his
Like-
chest, and he...
I'm trying to step on it in a way that like stops him. Damn it.
Well, you stop it, but his hands are right here. So you step on them, and it steps on his chest, which shoves the blade into his throat. You see blood start to pour out of his throat.
That's like a pretty extreme
going-
reaction from a
I'm
guy
going
who drug
to
himself.
Immediately lay on hands and stop this. Nope. Not getting out of this that easily.
See what happens when you try to screw around?
Seems
Take
like an odd move for someone who is willing to drag themselves through a cavern.
the blade away from him and ask Greer to step off his chest.
Reluctantly, I do so. Anything else that we should know about?
It's going to be in your best interest to tell us what you know.
Yeah, we just want to know who we want to go harass so that we can leave you alone.
Leave and untie you and let you go if you tell us everything.
They're looking for something, some kind of relic or something. I don't know how to get any further than this cavern. That's the God's honest truth.
Any idea what this relic is?
Not a clue. It's pretty important to whoever hired us.
My bet is whoever hired him, or them, probably had a purpose for your friends' areas.
Next cavern. Which direction?
Your guess is as good as mine. This is as far as we've been able to get.
Sarah, could you remind me what the name of the Minotaur is?
Tunrog.
Tunrog the
What?
Cruel. Tunrog the
okay.
Cruel. Tunrag.
But he didn't seem like the whole scholarly type either.
No, that's not what I asked about.
No.
But any chance, do you happen to know the name Tunrog?
He says nothing.
I step on his
What?
foot.
We can take that as a yes.
What happened to telling us what you know? Or I step on your foot. You think I was talking shit?
Do your worst. I'm not saying nothing else.
Oh, well,
What
why don't you
reason
step
could
a little higher than his
possibly have?
foot?
How invested are you in this, really? What worse things could happen to you than what we could do right now?
Saw what we did to your boss.
He says nothing.
Are you afraid of somebody? Are there consequences that you'll face if you say anything?
You'd be scared too if you knew who we were hired by.
So you do know. Tell us.
All I know is that they're called the Mothers.
Mothers. Forgive me if I don't believe every single time you say, all I know is.
Apparently there's always more.
There's always more with you, evidently. So what else is there? You've not given yourself a good track record. You're gonna keep losing limbs.
Oh, I'm gonna laugh when Toonrock gets a hold of you.
He does know a lot more.
And then he picks his head up and slams it back against a rock. You see blood just gushing.
Yeah,
Well, I expect he's not alive after that.
Oh, fuck.
Well, we got some answers.
Nearly enough. So there's a relic somewhere down here that might be of value.
I'm looting him
somewhere.
If you've got any sort of like papers or contracts or anything written somewhere with information, any symbols of anything.
Give me an investigation check.
I mean, do we loot the rest of the bandits?
Did we search his boss?
Not so far.
10.
So as you're searching through his pockets, he doesn't have much. He's got maybe 3 gold,
Shoddy.
4 silver, and 3 copper.
We should go search his boss.
Did we not do that already?
Nope.
I thought someone searched
when
him.
we investigated the camp, or when you investigated the camp, that
Because I thought the Kate, she found like some kind of sword or something on him.
That was the little piece of what looked like a wooden stick or twig or something that was being used as a blade.
The thing he punched me in the throat with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that had been kicked away.
I had the magical dagger.
Yep.
But I'm guessing she has it now.
Yep, you've probably given it to Ari. But
I mean, yeah.
Aside from that, you haven't searched any of his pockets or anything.
Probably go do that.
Okay.
I would probably trade it.
Whoever is going to search the body of Gravik can give me an
Garzik?
Yeah, that one. I can't even remember my own characters' names. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I'd like to do it because I kind of failed the last one.
And whoever does it, you get guidance from me.
Don't look at me. I'm not the one who should be investigating.
I'm not particularly good at investigating either.
All right, I'll try it. I'll go. Plus guidance. See, I told you guys. I rolled the same thing. 10 with guidance is 12.
Okay. So with a 12, as you search through his pockets, he's got a pouch hanging from his belt. It's got 235 gold.
Sweet.
About 20 silver, and probably 30 or 40 copper. We'll go with 40.
I want to divvy up his money at least.
As you continue searching through his personal effects on his body, in one of his pockets, you pull out a folded piece of paper. As you open it up and read what's very sloppily scrawled on the paper, you find debt to the Grey, payment in full, find the egg, return at earliest possible moment.
To the gray, payment in full, return to the egg. Sorry, what?
Debt to the gray, spelled Graeae. So the AE is doubled.
AE.
Debt to the gray, paid, or should be to be paid in full. Return the egg at earliest possible moment.
The egg.
Have I heard anything about any eggs?
Perhaps it's the artifact you're looking for.
All these notes of the stuff we put out of him. And I am a slow writer.
And hopefully somebody wrote it down because I don't remember what it said. But what was written on the whatchamacallit? I'm thinking of the word banister, but that's not the right word.
Beer?
Banner hawks?
Brazier. The brazier. What was written on the brazier? There's something about when the flame turns green.
Yeah, I have that somewhere.
Return the flame.
When-
You could throw one of those spearheads in there.
When the forever flame turns brightest green. I don't have all of it in my notes, but I have it in the recap.
Yeah, so it's essentially something to the effect of when the forever flame burns brightest green, the way forward will be unlocked. Something like that.
Yeah.
Downside to
turn green.
Downside to improvising things, you don't always remember to write them down.
Well, if all of the statues in the other room, the light turns green when we remove the swords, maybe there's something similar we need to do with the brazier here. What color is the flame in the brazier right now?
They are all currently burning regular orange, yellowish, reddish flame. Normal color of
fire?
flame.
Remove the brazier?
We could go get one of the swords and put it in the brazier and see what that does.
There's an idea. Requires us going back to the creepy statues, though. We've already walked past them twice.
And they've done nothing to us, so I don't know what you're worried about.
We haven't stolen any of their swords yet.
We already had 2 of their swords.
That's true.
At one point.
I feel like it's going to be something a little bit more than...
Well, it's a starting point. We can try.
Alright.
If any one of their minions could unlock it, you think that they would.
I'll go get a sword if that's what we want to try.
I'll go with you.
Thanks.
Okay. So the 2 of you head back to the last chamber. Do you grab one sword, multiple swords? What do you do?
Do you see who can grab the most swords?
And start grabbing all the swords.
I also start grabbing all the swords.
Here to spend all my time egging you 2 on.
I know. I'm loving this competition between the 2 of you. It's fabulous. So you're each able to grab a handful of swords.
How many statues are there? And then we can roll off to see who gets the majority.
We have saddlebags. I tie them on.
Both of you roll a d12.
Oh, I gotta find my D12.
This will determine who gets the most swords.
10.
11.
Oh, how? I'm like 4 times your size.
Paladin always wants their weapons. So yeah, you're able to get back, and you do the final count once you get back to the group. And a cheeky grin crosses your face, Freya, as you know you just beat her.
I got one
Looking at
more.
her. I don't look in her general direction. I just look forward.
Oh boy, this is gonna get really interesting.
Yes. So what do you do with the swords?
That's a good question.
Apparently have a sword fighting competition.
We could have a sword fighting competition. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on. Perhaps put one in the brazier?
I put one in.
I go and put one in each of the braziers.
Hmm.
Okay. So, let me see. How many total braziers do we have in here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 braziers. And you've got a total of, let's see, those 10 and 11, so that's 21 swords. Do you put just one in each brazier? Or multiples? This is entirely.
I thought there was only one brazier.
There are 8 braziers.
What's this forever flame? Where was that inscription? Was it just on one brazier, or is it on all of them?
As you look around, it's written on all 8 of them.
One sword per brazier for starters?
I mean, if there's an even or equal number.
Did we get all the swords from the other room?
You get all the swords? Are there more swords to get?
There might be other swords,
I go back and I get all the swords.
but you'd have to go swimming to get the rest.
I can go swimming.
Oh no,
That's
swimming
okay.
competition?
So, do you put one sword in or multiple swords? I have no.
I'm gonna
plan
gonna
either way. I'm
go-
just asking what you do.
I'm gonna go for a swim and find more swords.
Okay.
I mean, at least start with one sword.
Okay. Wait, before I get my coat wet again. Is there any reference to number of swords? There's no number in this thing. It doesn't say anything about a number.
It says nothing about swords whatsoever.
Can we just cantrip the flame green?
Really?
Don't know. Can you?
I mean,
You mean green flame blade?
Have one of those?
No, just
Nope.
minor illusion. The flame green.
Would an illusion actually change?
Probably not, but something to do
Anyone
while
have
you
that-
ladies are scurrying over and playing.
We got some magic people. Anyone can do the thing where like you make things slightly different. Like you blow leaves in the wind or like turn lights off. What's that spell called?
Unfortunately, no. Prestidigitation.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. No.
Like I can minor illusion the flame screen.
No,
One
I
of them at least.
I
2 of
cannot
them.
do that.
Worth trying.
I can do a maximum of 2 of the flame screen.
It's not gonna help.
Is it 2 or 3 instances at a time?
what part of this cavern have we not explored yet?
Most of the northern half.
Maybe let's see if there's a door we're trying to open first.
Right?
We spend any more time on this.
Probably an inscription on the door that tells how to open it or something ridiculous like that.
Now, question.
Answer.
If I take a closer look at the waterfall, is there anything behind the waterfall?
Give me an investigation check.
$14.
As you get up close and kind of look into it, you just see solid rock.
No secret door sound.
That's what a 14 gets you anyways.
I don't particularly feel like cannonballing in to go investigate it more closely.
You're more than welcome to.
You're already what?
Are you hoping I'm gonna drown?
I didn't say that, you did.
Well, fine, I will. Take the armor off again and guess I'm going for a swim.
Again? I mean, I guess I won't get too tired of these little shows.
What are you
I
talking
don't think
about?
anyone here would let you drown, little flower.
Oh, I'm not going to drown. I was just wondering whether Greer was hoping I would.
I didn't
I
say
can
anything
swim.
of the
I'm
sort.
good.
It sounds like Gray is ready to do mouth to mouth if it comes to it.
So which pool do
I
you
hope it
dive
does.
into?
Well, I can't get into the water.
Well, all
I
you
think
have to
there's
do
a
is
wall
just,
in my way.
yeah, I'm not worried about you actually moving. You're talking, but just kind of ping on which pool of water you jump into. Okay, so the one closest to the waterfall. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hopefully I won't need mouth to mouth.
Describe your entry into the pool from land.
Hope it's deep enough.
We're gonna find out. And I'll go ahead and actually properly dive this time.
Okay. Like full swan dive?
Yeah.
Or the closest approximation thereof?
Yeah. Take a couple of steps and just slingshot into a dive.
Okay. Got it. So as you jump in, the water immediately hits you as frigid, very cold.
All right.
The falling water from the waterfall is churning air into the water, creating very disturbed water. So it's very difficult to see. The force of the water is kind of pushing you back down towards the next pool down. Do you fight against it or do you go with the water?
I'm gonna fight against it.
Okay. Are you gonna try to get closer to the waterfall or just go down?
Toward the waterfall.
Okay. So you dive under a little bit to try to give yourself a little bit more leeway and do your best to kind of frog swim up towards the waterfall. It's a difficult push. Give me an athletics roll.
22.
Okay. So you continue to push against the force of the water, making definitely some headway. Over the next several minutes, as you continue swimming towards the falls, you see something through the bubbling water churning in front of you and below you, you see something below you through all of that has some sort of a greenish light to it.
All right. Well, we're looking for something that'll turn forever flames green, so I'll investigate the green.
Okay. You dive down deeper. And you just keep going down. Probably 30.
I have to pull her body out when she drowns.
30, 40, 50 feet down. Your ears are hurting from the pressure. You swim a little bit further down, and you begin to see what looks like the bottom of this pool.
Okay.
As you get closer, you see what looks to be some kind of greenish gem that is affixed to or trapped within a metal prison that is affixed.
Can I pick it up?
It's affixed to the ground.
Is there any way to either free the gem from this or free that thing from the ground?
Give me an investigation check.
That's a 1, and I'm going to re-roll it.
Okay.
Yay, demigod. All right, I'll take the 17.
Okay. So as you're running your fingers and hands over this metal lattice work that's imprisoning this greenish gem, you feel the metal rivets or screws or bolts or whatever it is that's holding this thing together. And down near the bottom, it's kind of let's see if I can describe it. So it starts off kind of like in a bulb with a gem inside of it, and it comes down to a banded section, and then it flares out to affix to the ground. So in that banded section, as you're running your hands over it, you feel what could possibly be maybe a keyhole.
Didn't Ari find some sort of key?
She did.
I'm gonna pop back up and say, hey, someone found a key, right?
Yeah, I've got one.
Can I borrow that? There's something on the bottom of the pool here.
Suppose, and she'll hand over this key with an emerald embedded in it.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Dive back down.
Okay. You swim back down. Give me another athletics check, because you got to fight against the water again.
$19.
All right. So it's a little harder going this time, but you still manage to push forward through the churning water. You dive down into the depths. Takes you a moment to find the gem again and its latticework prison. But once you get back down there, you pull the key out and stick it into the keyhole. It feels like it wants to turn, but at the same time, it's not turning. Give me a strength check. At disadvantage, because you're holding your breath, you're starting to lose air.
Well, that's not too bad. It's going to be 17 total instead of the 23 it would have been
Okay.
without the disadvantage.
So you try to turn it. You give it more and more torque using your muscles, and it feels like it wants to turn, but there's just something kind of blocking it. You're not quite sure what. And as you run your hand over the rest of the latticework metal of the prison, you feel what feels like several different points where it kind of pushes in a little bit. 5 different points, to be precise.
Okay. What do you mean pushes in?
Means it's a button of some sort that pushes into the latticework.
How far
Maybe
apart
they have
are these?
5 different people down there pushing buttons.
It's roughly each button is roughly a finger span away. So from my thumb to finger.
Okay.
So probably a good 6 inches at least between each button.
Can I press one of the buttons and see what it does?
Sure. You press one of the buttons. It's a very stiff push, but as you give it more pressure with like a thumb, it does push in, and you hear something in the locking mechanism through the water. It's very, very faint because you got the churning of the water above you. But it sounds like you heard like a little click. But as you release the button, it clicks again.
Okay. So there's 5. So I would need 2 other people to each press 2 buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to pop back up and relay this information.
Okay.
So who's coming down with me?
Yeah, all right. I guess I'll come on, give it a try.
Sure.
Not it.
Did you think you might drown down there?
So, Saoirse and Greer?
Okay. Hold on. Fine, I'm going to offer my expertise because I'm the least likely to go to my untimely death under the water.
Why is that?
No reason. Gray will pop off his jacket and cast Alter Self and grow some gills. And jump in the water.
Well, that's interesting.
Not worried about Gray because gills. But which Saoirse or Greer, which one of you is coming down?
I suppose me. It'll be a bit easier for me, I think.
So
I'll pop off my armor and
there's quite a current, so you might want to like grab onto me and I'll swim us down.
Oh, well, I certainly appreciate the help. You know, my feet aren't exactly great for swimming.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So
I also have a swim speed if that just helps.
it does.
Negate.
So for Gray, you can give me an athletics check at advantage because you've got the gills
Good,
and the
because I
swim
suck at
speed.
those.
Saoirse, are you swimming on your own, or are you allowing Freya to swim you?
I will allow Freya to give me a hand.
Okay. In that case, Freya, athletics check at disadvantage. Because
Disadvantage.
You're
Okay.
now dragging Saoirse behind you.
But I will give Freya guidance.
Better do that before you jump in the water. Whole verbal thing.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that would have been stupid high except for the disadvantage because I rolled a 19 and a 12. But I will take the 12 plus 6 plus 2, which is
Still pretty good.
dirty 20.
12 plus 6 plus 2. So that goes from 12 to 18 to 20. All right.
Dirty 20. Yeah, I can math.
Yep. I can't. I have to think it out. So as you're struggling to swim, both you and Saoirse, down there, you eventually get down there, and Gray's just sitting there like, what took you so long? Been sitting there forever, just waiting on you. But you eventually get down there, and
I communicated when I got back up there about the buttons. So
Yep. So you each get down there, you take hold of the key, and you press in one of the buttons. Saoirse and Gray each push in 2 of the buttons. So, Freya, since you've been swimming up and down and up and down and up and down, you're getting a little more exhausted. So, I'm going to need you to give me a strength check at disadvantage, and the other 2 can give me a normal straight athletics check or strength check.
I mean, I'll go for athletics over strength.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or acrobatics.
Yeah, need
Doesn't
strength.
matter, it's the same. It's the same.
all right.
I make this look easy.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
It's almost like Gray's in his element.
Uh-huh.
So that's a 17 total.
Okay. So
That's a saving throw, Christy.
I mean, it's not like I got this trained. But it's plus 0
Right.
no matter what.
Yeah.
And no, yeah.
it's good. It's good.
It doesn't matter. It's the same.
Which is weird because I rolled straight from the strength.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter, straight the same.
Yeah.
Not like I got that trained.
Yep. So, Freya, you're able to push in your button, and you've got a hold of the key, ready to turn it. You start to turn it a little bit, waiting for the pressure release of those other locking mechanisms. Gray, you easily push in both buttons, and you're just kind of like holding them there. It's like, is this going to do something? Saoirse, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay. So you struggle to get the right button pushed, but eventually you're able to get it pushed in. But for some reason, your left thumb just isn't quite strong enough. You're not able to push that one in.
Is Saoirse next to me? And is the button that she's having trouble with on my side of her? Because you said they're about a hand spread apart. I'm wondering whether I can keep my thumb on that one and try to help her push the other one.
Unfortunately, so she's on your left side, and the button that she's not able to push in is on her left side, so the one between her and Gray.
Could how are you going to turn the key?
Could I try, like, pushing, with my hands like this? So I'm helping my left hand?
You can try, but I'll need another strength check.
I'm rolling so bad today.
Yeah, you move your thumbs over to the left one, and you're able to push that one in, but your fingers aren't strong enough to push the right one in now.
But
about...
it's now on the correct side of me, so I might be able to.
Would Mage
push
Hand
that.
be able to push in a button?
It's
You
possible.
can manipulate option, operate, unlock door, container, store, retrieve an item, pour contents.
But is it verbal,
It
somatic,
cannot
or
activate
material?
magic items. Does not have a verbal. It's visual and somatic. So I can cast it underwater, and it's not concentration.
So it's VS.
Yep.
It's verbal and
V is
somatic.
verbal.
No, it says, hold on. Oh, yep,
VSM.
verbal.
Verbal, somatic.
I didn't mouse
materials.
over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Nope, you're well.
now,
So no
now
magic.
it's the right hand. Now it's the right hand button. So it's on my side of Saoirse.
You can try, but it will be a strength check at disadvantage.
Which is what I was already rolling.
But this will be for your fingers.
Yes. No, but I'm saying I'm already rolling at disadvantage anyway, so.
I mean, you can trade so she's only pushing one button and you're pushing two, and she's doing the key.
Yep.
Two.
Come on, dice,
That
don't
might be
fail me.
a better setup.
You're going to need to roll...
Well, that's a 20.
I was going to say you need to roll a minimum of 17. So 20 will do it, and that's at the disadvantage?
No, that's not with the disadvantage. It's a 20 and an 18 plus 4, so 22.
Okay. So between Saoirse's two thumbs on one button and two different hands using their fingers on the second button, you're able to get all 5 buttons pushed. You go to turn the key, and you can feel it give a little bit of resistance, but then it starts to turn. And it turns quarter turn, half turn, 3/4 turn, full turn. Do you go further?
Well, has it
Unlock it.
done what it's supposed to?
The prison is still latched, so.
So I'll turn it further.
How much further? Quarter turn, half turn, 3/4 turn, full turn.
A quarter turn at a time, I guess.
Okay. You go to that quarter turn. And as soon as you click into that fifth spot of the key turn, the prison globe springs open. The green gem sitting there.
All right.
Now someone has to try and grab it and hope that letting go of things doesn't make it close.
I can just let go of the key.
Yeah.
Not the button.
Yeah, try that first.
All right, I'll let go of the key.
Because if the key doesn't feel like it's going to spring back, maybe?
The key does not feel like it's going to spring back, does it?
Doesn't feel like it.
All right. I'm going to go real quick and snag the gem with my key hand.
As you grab it and yank on it, you feel the slightest of tension, and then it releases into your grasp. For Greer and Arius, give me a perception check.
15.
Yeah, there's nothing like releasing something that's been obviously buried under the depths of something to keep it from getting loose.
I got a 10.
Okay. So as you're sitting up here just kind of watching things, the waterfall gets heavier the water starts pouring faster, harder. As you're seeing this, the pools start to fill up more. And
Didn't we go help them?
Within a matter of moments, the three of them pop up, this green gem in Freya's hand. And you hear water rushing.
We would have also, by the way, made sure to grab the key with us too.
Okay. So as you're swimming up the water to the top, you notice that once you get up there, the water level has already risen by several feet. You quickly climb up onto the land, the rocky land, grassy land, back up to your friends. And you notice that the water is not necessarily filling up the cavern, but it's pushing rock and debris out of the way, starting to break the path right here. It's not enough water pressure to actually like fully break it, but it's definitely eating away. It's eroding at that rock and dirt. So it's getting a little more unsteady. After about 10-15 minutes, the water subsides. The waterfall completely stops pouring. All of the pools are completely filled. What do you do?
The braziers still burning and they're still yellow?
Braziers are still burning and gold and yellow.
Saoirse, do you want to do another detect magic ritual?
Yeah, all right. Perhaps just to be safe, we should get to the other side of that bit that's crumbling, though.
Well, but do we want to go back or do we want to continue up the path? I'd like to see where all this water's coming from. I don't think that the path is in imminent danger of crumbling.
Imagine if we've gone through all this effort, we should go forward.
Well, I don't know. Probably retire on that, Emerald.
Retire? Don't you want to take care of, some of these major things that are happening?
Let's see. Die when the world ends, surrounded by luxury and riches, or charge head first and meet the world ending, chasing like giant drooling demon beasts.
I know which of those sounds like more fun.
You're a very boring person, aren't you?
I don't think so. I like to keep things interesting.
Of course, this is probably not the relic that they speak of, so of course it's going to be some sort of more powerful object deeper in, and I am quite curious to find out what it is.
Well, listen, there's plenty of time to figure out what that thing is.
Does this gem look like an egg by any chance?
It does not.
Would you like to put in one of the fires?
Well, I'd like to see what's in the rest of this cavern first.
I mean, maybe we're missing, like, the fire, because, maybe there's a specific place to put it.
Let's do a quick detect magic and see if this gem is magic or if there's magic anywhere else nearby, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So you take the time to cast detect magic, and immediately the gem pings, as all schools of magic.
Oh my.
Well, that's very powerful.
Oh. Well, I don't know what to make of that.
We don't tell anyone we have this, right? Because I feel like a lot of people would want it.
What exactly is it? Sorry, did I miss something?
Well, if it's pinging from every single school of magic, it's very powerful.
Huh. So worth all the trouble we went to get it out of that thing.
Probably.
If it has a use, yes.
I don't suppose there's written directions on it or anything.
Nope. It is a finely cut emerald, but no writing.
Maybe this is the green flame. Green flame
Well-
could be a metaphor for a sparkling emerald.
Do you want to put that in the brazier? See what that does.
Which brazier?
Good point.
There's
Probably
8
we
of
should be
them.
trying to find the
So-
door we're looking to open.
So that's why I want to continue up the path. I'll just
Let's go then.
Okay. Which of the
tuck
two
this in my
paths are you
pocket
going
for
up?
now. Where did we come in?
You came in through over here. Oh,
Oops.
put it on the right layer.
Too much zooming out.
Through the left side of the map over here. That's where you came in. So you've got a path here going to the northwest. Then you got another path over here going to the northeast.
Let's go up the northeastern one because we're standing on it.
And just outside on the previous cave, there was a path too.
Yeah.
But more likely the path we want if we're going to find, the entrance to this
Mm-hmm.
relic chamber is going to be from here.
So the path up the east, or the eastern path, leads up to a deadfall. It's just boulders, rocks. There's not really any way through that you can see.
Well, let's hope it's not this way.
Do you head over to the western one?
I guess.
Okay. So you head over to the western path, and you see what looks like a dirt path that continues on after the stone path ends. Looks like it goes up, but it just reaches a wall, and there's nothing else. It just kind of dead ends at that wall.
Huh.
Perhaps this opens in some way?
I don't know. That guy lied.
be.
He said there was another chamber beyond this one. Did he not?
So, where's the wall that had the writing on it?
It was up here by the brazier on the ledge.
Well, if we're gonna pick a brazier to put the emerald in, then my bet would be on this one.
Do any of the
Sure.
braziers look any more special? Or less?
They all look identical.
And did any of them ping for magic? Maybe you
Not
can
that
walk around and look at them?
Not that it's pinging on Saoirse's detect magic.
Well, let's go down to that one and see if anything pings.
Okay. So you make your way over there. And you read the inscription again, just to refresh your memory. Do you just drop it in, or is there any kind of ceremonial tossing it in?
I'm going to hand it to Saoirse because she's a cleric and is probably better suited to these things.
All right.
Dropping priceless gems into fire?
I think it's going to do that much damage. I mean, it's a rock.
Have we got a plan for retrieving it if this doesn't work?
I mean, I can still cast Mage Hand.
See there.
Yes. Okay, that'll work. Okay. All right. I'll just sort of gently toss it in.
Okay. You toss it in, and at first nothing happens. But then you start to see sparks. Nothing in there should be sparking, but the sparks continue to grow. And eventually, first one, then each of the other braziers in turn light up green.
Oh, how about that? That's neat. I'm glad that Greer decided to challenge me to go for a swim. Because that's how we ended up here. Let it be known. It was our competitive rivalry that led us to this.
I was gonna say I'm the secret to our success, but I suppose that works too.
And then, as the final brazier
Or was
changes
it
from
Gray
golden fire,
saying
It is actually
that-
Gray challenging and egging you on that's causing all the chaos and
Yeah.
actually driving you all forward.
and talking about not
In a
minding
non-direct
the
way.
show.
so as the final brazier goes from golden reddish flame to bright, brilliant emerald green flame, you hear up the western path the sound of rock
There's a door in that
shifting.
wall now, isn't there?
We'll find out next time, because that's where we're gonna end tonight. So, excellent game tonight. I loved all of the role play, all of the competition between you. It's been amazing. For all of our viewers on Twitch who are live with us, and all those who are going to be watching later on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us. And remember, a little bit of chaos in your life is always a good thing, especially when it's done with a great group of friends like these. And second, remember that you are the legend beyond the dragon's tail. Good night, everyone.